they both do and don't make cars like they used to.
Great.
Oh, I can hear you.
All right, there you go.
Add backside attack.
Add Sabe.
Oh, what a day.
What
Just
a day
couldn't get
indeed.
caught up. Couldn't get caught up today. Had a lot of shit going on that I was trying to catch up to, and I couldn't. And then fucking started playing video games, so that was a mistake.
What'd you play?
Breath of the Wild.
Uh,
That's the one I'm playing right now.
So did I. I played video games today too.
You did?
Yeah.
It was one of those days.
I played StarCraft.
Oh, that's not bad.
Mhm.
That's old school.
I love StarCraft.
Are we in frame? Are we doing all right?
Yeah,
We're doing
we're good.
all
Yeah.
StarCraft is pretty great. I never got into StarCraft or Warcraft,
Mhm.
but I know people who got deep into it. Lost Days.
Yeah. I could play that game for hours.
StarCraft is kind of like Space Warcraft, right?
Yeah.
Same thing. You gotta
It's
build
like
your
Red. It's like
armies.
Red Alert.
Again, never played a Red Alert either.
Yeah.
Couldn't
You
get
just
into
yeah. StarCraft is like it's it is religion in South Korea.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
people. There's like slave trade,
Mm-hmm.
like a legitimate. That turned on? Is it? No, it's good. Okay. I did stuff over there, so I'm worried that things are gonna start screwing with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I was reading about kids in South Korea who end up in these get paid a nickel a day while somebody's making a ton of money while they're like mining for weapons and in-game money and all that kind of crap.
Holy, really?
And they hand that off to like a boss.
Oh.
What do they call him? Like a slaver.
Oh,
I mean, really,
jeez.
it's like there are people out there who just spend all day long at a machine because they're. And I'm not saying slave trade in the sense that it's like an actual slave trade,
Mm-hmm.
but they kind of like force labor onto these kids and shit who have to sit at a computer screen and earn. That's it. There's some weird crap that goes on.
Oh yeah, because I was watching Conan Conan goes to Conan O'Brien went to all those countries and then he had to
Yeah.
he went to South Korea.
It's his idiot abroad kind of thing.
Yeah, and then did you see the one where he went to South Korea?
I don't know if I did.
Yeah, that one's hilarious. And then so he had to go to he went to South Korea. Then he had to go to a school. He got taught how to speak Korean
Okay.
by this South Korean lady, and she spoke English, but she wasn't. They're not used to like how forward Conan is.
She
started saying she's like, stop doing that with your hands, like to stop, like you're disgusting and all that. Then he's like, you're being too forward, and
he was grossing her out.
yeah, and he's like, what are you talking about? She goes, oh my god, you're weird. And he's like,
Well, he is.
yeah, that's what he said. He goes, did you Google me before you came here? He's like, I'm famous for being weird.
That's my shtick.
And then he looked at the camera. He's like, I'm a grade A freak.
I'm a grade A freak, people.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
god.
so he, so then that lady took him to the market, and then late night he went to those, I guess, video game cafes where if you have nowhere to go, you can sit in a cafe, play. I think you pay a flat fee.
Yep.
And
There all night.
He met one guy, and the guy's like sitting there, and he spoke English. He's like no accent,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy's like just sitting there, and he's like, "What are you playing?" And then he's like, and he's playing StarCraft.
Mm-hmm. They're deep into that
Yeah.
the online gaming. So it's a huge deal.
Yeah, and he was teaching Conan how to play other like first person shooters and stuff. And Conan's like,
Conan's not a gamer.
no, Conan, but he has the best video game reviews.
The clueless gamer.
Yeah, out of anybody.
That's accurate, Tim. He is the clueless gamer. He goes out there and has a good
Yeah,
time.
I've seen all of his clues. They're hilarious.
They're really good.
Yeah.
They're quite fun. Conan O'Brien had John C. Reilly on as the first guest he's had, like in studio, the other day. And John C. Reilly was talking, not to like go completely off topic here from games and whatnot, but he was talking about how he's been best friends with everybody he's been a best friend with on TV, like in a movie. He's always buddy except for one. Because like one guy just like, it was a tough nut to crack. We're not best friends. For some reason, that one didn't work out. I'm thinking it's got to be Gangs in New York, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's DiCaprio. Who is he buddies with? DiCaprio or Daniel Day-Lewis?
It's got to be Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, it's got to be one of those two.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I remember that was not a comedy.
Yeah, not Cameron Diaz.
No, not Cameron Diaz. Who was the dude of the club in that one? That's Brendan Gleeson, isn't it? He's got that big club. And
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's like $1 a notch,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, that's
Only new notches.
Yeah, cause I think that's what
Yeah.
that's who it was. Yeah, but I bet you. Yeah, it was probably Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, probably Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm not fascinated. Like I'm not like completely blown away by that, but I like that weird idea that there was this kind of like messed up underground psycho era of New York or big cities.
Yeah,
That they were just like, because I mean, years ago when that came out.
You know what the thing is, like that's That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what actually happened.
This happened.
Yeah.
Because there was like a Dead Rabbits riot, and there was a Bill the Butcher. I mean, he's fictionalized for the movie. He's not the same guy, but he's loosely based on a guy.
Yeah,
who was
it's
pretty
dramatized
nuts.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to make the character more like, you need a villain in that movie, right?
Yeah,
But like, like that movie's I've watched that movie. I think I've watched that movie like 5 times.
Get out of town,
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
Okay, so you're way into it than I was.
Yeah, because I wanted to know more about like first time I saw it, the second time I saw it, I want to watch it by myself to like do more of a deep dive into like some of the characters.
Yeah.
And then the third time I watched it just straightly because I want to see Daniel Day-Lewis's performance.
It's so good.
And then the third time I just wanted to watch it, and then the fourth time I watched it is because I want to see like just generally how the film was made.
Yeah,
and like you look around it and just like take in the scope of things, and then encompass the whole movie as a whole. Yeah.
It was like one of the man. I don't want to put it in the same category. Well, I will. I will put it in the same category as Waterworld in the sense that it's all practical effects and gigantic sets. Mm-hmm. Like everything, like that whole not the underground, but that one building that they kind of come out of in the beginning.
Yeah.
And where he's, I guess Leonardo DiCaprio's character is like goes up there.
Goes up there. Yeah.
It's like that multi-layered homeless encampment. Like that's all practical effects, man. They built that
They
whole
built
thing
that,
somewhere.
yeah. Mhm.
They filmed it in Europe somewhere, didn't they? It
was built on a soundstage.
On a soundstage.
On a massive soundstage.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was the 007 soundstage, but
Well, it's like Titanic and all those movies at some time.
yeah,
Titanic was Mexico.
No, Titanic. Yeah, Titanic was filmed in Mexico. And I think because that's where they built the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
The underwater shit.
Yeah, and
But James Bond, Star Wars, like a Pinewood type thing.
that's Pinewood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, actually, that's weird. Speaking of Avatar, your favorite movie.
Favorite movie of all time. I love Avatar. I
yeah.
don't hate that at all.
Apparently, they said, you know how everyone was enamored by the 3D and stuff like that in the first movie.
Yeah.
Apparently, they want to have that same feeling, I guess, from people by the underwater sequences.
In this one.
Because like, you know how Aquaman, all this underwater stuff was all CGI.
Yeah.
Pretty well done, but like it was all CGI, right?
It was better than it had any right to be.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but this is like all real.
Also, practical effects.
Yeah. This is all underwater. Like this is all the underwater sequences are filmed underwater.
So it'll be completely opposite the first movie.
Yeah. So whatever he learned from that one movie he did. What's that one movie that James Cameron did with underwater?
Abyss.
Yeah.
I just drawn a blank myself.
Yeah. So it's like whatever he learned from the Abyss and like his deep water adventures or whatever the hell he's done. This is all coming to a head for Avatar. So.
Well, he spent so much time underwater.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not as a joke. I mean, like literally after Titanic, James Cameron has done as much technology building underwater.
Yeah.
Than he's done filming a movie over water, above water.
Yeah.
On dry land.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Non-sunken.
Yeah. Underwater. Yeah. Just I think he probably prefers it.
He prefers
when he gets
being
on land.
underwater.
He probably gets the shakes.
He gets the opposite. He gets land sickness.
That's why he didn't. That's why he didn't direct the last Terminator movie.
Right back to Waterworld. Remember the
exactly.
land sickness?
Yeah.
They had their feet on dry land. Everybody's throwing up. It's land sickness. You'll get over it.
Good old Waterworld.
Hey man, Waterworld. I
just had a crush on Jean Triplehorn back in the day.
Oh, she was super pretty.
Yeah.
She was super pretty in that movie. She was super pretty in the when she played the slasher murder, the real slasher murder
In Basic
Basic
Instinct.
Instinct.
Yeah.
She's the better looking lady, I think.
Yeah.
But Waterworld, I always said history will be the judge in that movie, and I dare anybody to watch that now and hate it.
Yeah.
It's hard to hate that movie,
It's
man.
a good. I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was a great movie.
I thought it was cool that he had gills. I thought the way he swam was all weird and
Yeah.
shit. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. It was a Hail Mary attempt, and I think they I don't know. It's an enjoyable movie.
I kind of feel like it was a victim of one of those things where everybody looks at it and says, "Well, how much did you spend? Well, let's see what you gave me. Let's see what you got."
Yeah. Let's see what the return on investment is.
Yeah, and I think people judged it too much by how much money was spent.
And and plus everything, because it was so much. It was in the news, because when they filmed out, they built that huge set on in the middle of nowhere, and then
it all got destroyed, right? Yeah,
and they had to rebuild it.
That was what's his name set? Dennis Hopper's battleship where they have all the jet ski stunts.
Yeah, exactly. It had Dennis Hopper too, man. How can you hate that
Dennis
movie?
Hopper. Yeah, how do you hate any movie with Dennis Hopper in it?
Yeah, the Dennis Hopper's Easy Rider. He's been in so many good movies.
poor
Apocalypse
Dennis
Now,
Hopper, he's right.
True Romance. Yeah,
Give me one of those.
Speed.
I'll take one of those Chesterfields you got now.
yeah. Like I like that one. That moment where he knew he was gonna die.
Yeah. He
And
just
then
wants to smoke.
Yeah, and then because he left permanent damage on that guy's Vincent Carcone, Christopher Walken's character.
Walken's character, yeah.
Like he's like, I'm gonna die. I gotta let this guy know.
He left a scar on his historical soul. He essentially told him, "What's the one thing you are? Okay, you're a staunch racist.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about where your people come from.
Yeah.
You racist."
Yeah.
He basically told him you are what you hate.
Yeah.
Oh, it was terrific.
That was a yeah, because he got him and he's like he goes now, because he said to him he goes he asked him, am I lying?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because he thought that he was giving him a tall tale.
Yeah.
And they built that whole thing up. And yeah, you're right. I mean, am I lying?
Yeah.
You'll never know because you're not smart enough to do the research yourself.
Google. That was a great. That's one of my favorite scenes in movie history.
It is lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Like, you can't give me a Tarantino movie that's directed by Tony Scott and not expect it to be just like a product of its time. And even though as a product of its time, it's a little bit dated, but still very watchable.
It is, yeah, because you could
never make it today.
No, yeah, like that's true. Well,
could you? Like Gary Oldman's character, they wouldn't. I mean, there would be so many people who are like, no, that's cultural appropriation. You can't have.
Oh no, it would be it would be heavily criticized today,
yeah.
Right? But
I feel like you'd make sacrifices, make it like funny or jokey or like you'd do something.
I wouldn't release that in I wouldn't make that a theatrical release, but yeah, I throw it on. Actually, I don't know, man. It's so good for its time. It's perfect for its time.
It's perfect for its time, and it's Gesundheit.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
It's perfect for its time because it was made when those movies were just like they were almost like avant-garde theater when Pulp Fiction and True Romance and that kind of weird Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
2 Days in the Valley. Mm-hmm. Like those movies were gritty. They were dark. They had a hitman. Like that was like kind of like the beginning of that. Hitman with the Heart of Gold.
Yeah, because also like there was almost like there were no rules.
There were no rules, so people were just doing whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, because that's where like I think that's where like it started to begin. Where like okay, what can or cannot we put in the movie, right?
Yeah,
but you have to think of this also that. People say that you can't make that movie again today, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say Quentin Tarantino made that movie. Like, he wrote it, right? But let's say if his name was attached to it as a director. Let's say he directed it.
Then you can.
Then you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino can get away with a lot.
Yeah.
And people will be like, yeah, it's a commentary on the social structure of today.
Yeah.
He's telling us something.
Yeah.
He's definitely telling us something.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying so hard to tell us, I don't know what it is. Black guy or white guy, dreadlock, speaking Jamaican. I don't know. But he's telling me something.
Yeah. No, yeah. Who's Gary Oldman's Drexel? Yeah.
Yeah. Drexel.
Yeah. Oh man, what a great movie! The whole movie's one-liners.
The entire thing, even like the best cameo too with Brad Pitt, Stoner. Mm-hmm. James Gandolfini's entire explanation about how he picks the first person he kills.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff.
Unbelievable.
You're right. It's just like a movie full of moment that leads into moment.
Yeah.
But still with cohesive storytelling.
Oh yeah, and some of those lines have been used in so many movies. Like what's that line by Christian Slater? What I've learned today is that it's better to have a gun and not need it than to need a gun and not have it.
It's really good too.
Yeah,
it's really good too.
Yeah, and everything Christopher Walken says in that movie is gold, absolute gold.
I think honestly that might be the first time I really remembered Christopher Walken. That and Batman Returns. As a teenager.
Mm-hmm. What about James Bond, View to a Kill?
No, I mean I don't think I remembered him until I was older and watched it again. I don't think I remembered him there.
Okay, so when you saw A View to a Kill, did you say like, okay, that's just another Bond villain?
Yeah, when I first saw View to a Kill, I don't think I really knew who Christopher Walken was. I was too young.
Okay.
I mean, at that time, what, like 12 years old?
Yeah.
Like, I think we were 12 or 13.
Also, I guess like the point where like you thought, okay, that's Christopher Walken.
Like this guy's going to stick around. He's not just another guy who you get in a movie to play a character. Mm-hmm. Like that's Christopher Walken. After that, I was like, that's Christopher Walken. Mm-hmm. Not just like, who was that guy in that movie? The bad guy there was really good. It wasn't that. It's like Christopher Walken's really good.
Yeah, because I remember him from like I saw him in View to a Kill. I was like, yeah, this guy's so cool. Mm-hmm. Then I saw him in Batman Returns. And then I saw him. Then I saw him in King of New York.
Yeah.
I was okay. This guy. I'm like, this guy's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
I love this guy. And then like that. Then I started like. After that, then I saw True Romance, and after that I was like, hey, this guy is one of the best actors I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite actors.
It was like for me, Batman Returns, True Romance, and then probably like Pulp Fiction. We see him again, and you're like, oh, he can do it all. This guy can do everything. And then you remember, like, he gets name recognition with you after that. And that's what happened for me. That's when he gained the name recognition.
Yeah, he's Christopher Walken's, and he's known to be like such a nice guy.
Yeah, people like all around genuinely really seem to like him. Maybe not like any members of Natalie Wood's family, but everybody else seems to really.
Actually, you know who loves him? Like,
look that one up, people.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. Yeah, you know who actually loves that guy? Is Conan O'Brien.
I can imagine.
Conan even said he said to him, he's like, I love it when you come on. He's like, he goes, ladies and gentlemen, because I love this man.
The dude is just so he embraces. I think he embraces the character of Christopher Walken. Like, he might not be that guy in real life. 'Cause I remember like during the whole thing where I think once on Letterman, where he tried to ask him about like to spend time on boats. He's like, no. Next question. And then like out that's the real Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
But outside of that, he's a guy who, like, in that music video he did, the dances.
Yeah, that's
the Spike Jonze thing.
Spike Jonze one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of those, he seems to really embrace the character. Like, he's just playing himself.
Yeah, because
he's playing that character.
He said, like, he goes, I think it was probably after True Romance, but he said, I have to dance in every movie that I do, at least one small dance. And I
guess.
Yeah, and he says, and mostly he says people have to realize that they're getting me in a movie.
Yeah, they're getting Christopher Walken in a movie.
Yeah, so like it's just me saying the lines.
Yeah.
That you wrote me.
Well, he's not that's the thing. He's not going to play like I don't know, like the mayor of San Francisco. And you hire him to play like a guy in a movie, or you're not going to write a character that anybody can come and play. Like Russell Crowe can play this guy.
Yeah.
That's not it.
No.
If Russell Crowe can play that guy, cool, he can play that guy, but he's a chameleon.
Yeah.
When you say I want Christopher Walken in a movie, what part are you going to give him? I don't know, give him the mayor.
Yeah, because that changes the movie.
Yeah, it changes the movie.
It totally changes the movie.
Now you have Christopher Walken playing Christopher Walken. Like, you can't just rewrite that for for anybody.
Yeah, because
like David Oyelowo can't go and play that character.
Yeah, actually, no, if you actually look at it, because he, the way he talks, because he doesn't talk with any, like, there's no exclamation points or commas between, like, when he talks and when he speaks.
Okay, hold on. If anybody's wondering what you're talking about, watch him in the rundown.
Yes, yeah, that's a good way to put it. But he doesn't do that in True Romance.
No,
he says it. He does it the way, like, Quentin Tarantino probably would have wanted him to say it. Like, he's like, you have to be vile and you have to be like menacing.
Is that maybe the only time, possibly outside of like Deer Hunter, that he didn't play Christopher Walken?
Maybe, yeah, I think
like
so.
Those two movies are the only ones that come to mind.
Yeah.
Where he's playing an actor. Like, he's an actor acting.
Yeah.
He's not playing Christopher Walken.
Yeah, because like he's like, when he plays villains, he's like back in the earlier back in the day, like before, like, let's say early 90s and like maybe the 80s, he was more, how should I put this? He was darker. Yeah. But now it's more like he's Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
And like Deer Hunter, like even in like Deer Hunter, it was really dark. It was a sympathetic character, but like True Romance, it was just like, because every shot was, most shots of him when he was talking to
Hopper,
Dennis Hopper, is that it's close up of his face, so you can see his eyes. Yeah, and you look at his eyes when he's looking at him, you're like, holy, this guy looks scary.
Well, he's a mafia boss.
Yeah,
this he's the devil, the suit. He's a shark. Yeah. It's a great
Blue Lou Boyle.
That's right, Blue Lou Boyle.
Yeah, the man your son stole from.
What does he say to him at the end? He's like, I haven't killed anybody, and then he shoots him since 1984. I haven't killed anybody.
Yeah,
he pops him. The pause is great. Since 1984.
Yeah, I have this problem now. Like, every time I hear someone say this thing to me, because it's just like it's a natural response now. That when people say, like, I don't believe you, and I always say, like, even if it doesn't warrant this reaction, I always say, like, someone says, I don't believe you, I said, that's of little importance. What is of major fucking importance is that I believe you.
That's of no importance. Oh my God, what a great character.
We're gonna have a little Q&A, and At the risk of sounding redundant, please make your answers genuine.
At the risk of sounding redundant, please make your answers genuine.
You could take solace in the fact that you never had a choice.
Oh my God.
Just legend.
You know, he's if I'm remembering this right, I think the Deer Hunter look was Solid Snake first, right? Like that was what they had in their head, I think, on the cover. Like before Michael Bain is Solid Snake.
Yeah, that's right.
Or like at some point, the way he looks in Deer Hunter, it's supposed to be like the way they wanted Solid Snake to appear.
Yeah.
In your head.
Yeah, Solid Snake.
It's a lonely, world-destroying psycho sniper.
Yeah. Speaking of Solid Snake, Metal Gear Solid that's it for Metal Gear Solid, I'm assuming, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Solid Snake from is the antagonist of the Metal Gear Solid series.
Well, he's the protagonist.
Protagonist, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think we're gonna see any more Metal Gear Solid games.
Because something happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Hideo Kojima and Konami are no longer together, so there'll be no more.
I didn't hear about this. Really?
That happened a long time ago.
I don't remember caring about any of this news.
After Metal Gear Solid 5, Konami broke up. Like they got rid of Hideo Kojima, and then they.
Oh, this is that one that came out like a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was all about zombies and stuff like that. Yeah, and so then he started Kojima
Studios, whatever it is. Yeah.
And then,
but was it like a hard break? Like they actually, there was a pretty big falling out. Because I know they got rid of the voice. What was his name? David Hayter.
Yeah.
They got rid of him. They got rid of a few ideas from the original series, and then they put in Kiefer Sutherland, and they rewrote some stuff. So it was like it was a thorn in his side. But I don't remember hearing anything about them actually having like a hard.
Yeah, it was.
I hate you, divorce.
Yeah, so it was. They called it quits, and then so he left, and then he made Death Stranding, which I played.
Okay. Did you? Is it out there? Death Stranding is out there now? You can play it?
Yeah, Death Stranding's been out for like over a year.
Oh, I thought it was like a big, what's it called? Like a demo.
No,
like
you can download it on Steam.
I stopped caring about Death Stranding so hard that I didn't even know it was out. Like I gave up on that thing altogether.
You know, Conan O'Brien's in the game.
Conan O'Brien's in the game?
Well, he went to go see he was in Japan, like when he was doing one of those traveling remotes, or whatever.
Yeah.
And he got invited to Kojima headquarters.
So now it's Death Stranding starring Norman Reedus and Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, and
that's
so
weird.
Yeah, so there's but it's like a walking simulator. It's a different kind of game.
Well, I mean, it's like you're just kind of roaming around, avoiding things.
Right? You're making deliveries to like different places on Earth, like
that's it.
In North America, I should say. Yeah.
What about all the weird shit? Like the weird. There's like a spirits that are being like marionetted around, right?
Yeah. So like the rain is called Timefall.
Okay.
Fuck. You know what? This will take forever if I explain the game to you.
Yeah. No. You know what? That's the problem. I was so
you can download it on Steam.
I probably will.
Yeah.
I was so into it when it was like a PT. I think that's one that was PT, right? That was like the demo that was out there, and it had like Norman Reedus, and he's like a caveman. He's like walking around all half naked and shit, and then he became a baby, or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, there's babies in it. There's
it's bizarre.
It's a bizarre game.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, but there's no game like it. I'll give it that.
Well, I guess that's something.
Yeah. But it's not like a really. But it's like you have to know what you're getting into when you watch it. It's like watching Roots. Like, you know, you have like you have to give like or watching. Like,
I've never heard anybody explain a video game being like watching Roots.
Well, no, because you have to dedicate yourself to it.
Yeah.
Or it's like watching it's like watching cricket. I should say that.
Okay, so like you need to start to understand. You can't if you know baseball, you can't watch cricket.
No.
You have to know cricket to watch cricket.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta know what a crumpet is to know cricket.
Yeah, like people are like, why do they throw it like this, right? I'm like, it's because they want to keep the ball straight, like when they release it. So, I tried playing cricket. Cricket's, it's so hard. Yeah,
I've played cricket on the streets multiple times in India.
Is it hard? It's hard.
I'm terrible at it.
Yeah,
I'm terrible at it. A lot of little Indian kids have laughed at me. Like, I mean, there's a pickup game around the corner all the time, and you always know somebody who's got a friend who's playing cricket.
Yeah.
So you make a joke, next thing you know, you got a bat, and it's just like little kids make you look like a fool. I mean, they'll throw that ball faster than you can hit it, and they'll hit it faster than you can throw it.
I actually got I got sent home in elementary because we were playing field hockey, and I knew how to play field hockey because my grandfather his his best friend played on the Indian Olympic team.
Get out of town, huh?
And he was, I think my grandfather was he was either a reserve on the team, and so he showed me how to play. Because for people who don't know about field hockey, you could only play it right-handed.
Yeah.
So and the thing is like you have to, and you could only play on the right hand, and this guy's like I remember this guy said one of the kids who went to my school was like he's left-handed and he couldn't play.
Okay, explain that for a second. Like it's not that you can only play it right-handed. You can only play on the one side.
No,
you can only play with the stick right-handed.
The sticks are only right-handed. That's as much as I knew when I was playing in elementary. And then so they only had right-handed. Everyone had to play right-handed. And this one guy said, this one kid was in my class. I hated this kid already. And then he said, he's like, this game is trash. Who the hell plays this game, right? So I took that personally.
2 billion people, dummy.
Yeah, so I was like, no, like my grandpa. So then he turned, and then he said something to me, and he turned away. So then I cross-checked him right across the back of the neck.
Oh, yeah, Mario Lemieux him.
Just like I like this, and then when he was down, he tried to get back up, and I punched him in the face.
You could have really hurt him, dude.
Oh, I did hurt him. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like you could have brushed him. Like it could have been really bad.
Yeah, I got him right in the back. I didn't even care. I was like, I just went just like that, right? And then, I got in so much shit.
Pride of my nation.
Yeah, the guy's like, he's like, I want you to go home. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have to go. No,
That's fair.
I have to go home and watch Transformers shit.
That's fair. I'm gonna go home and watch cartoons.
Yeah. Then I told my grandfather this is what happened and stuff like that. Then he didn't care. He's like,
oh, of course he didn't care.
Yeah. But
kids will be kids.
Yeah, he's like, whatever. He goes, young kids should learn how to fight.
Well,
he said it's healthy.
I think it's a healthy thing to know how to do. To know how to defend yourself. Maybe not, Mario Lemieux or not Lemieux, Marty McSorley. It was McSorley who did that, right? To Brashear.
Yeah, like I told him exactly what I did.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, my dad he said to me, he goes, you shouldn't have done that. But he's like, I'm glad you did something, but that's a little bit. He said that's too much.
That's too much.
Yeah,
it's a little excessive.
Yeah, but then when I got to other fights, he was like, yeah. He goes, as long as you finish the fight, that's good.
I think it's the old saying, right? It's like I didn't start the fight, but damn, we'll finish it.
Yeah, goddamn, finish it.
I gotta finish it.
Yeah,
it's like you shouldn't just because you can doesn't mean you should. But at the same time, if it comes to you, you should be able to defend yourself.
Yep. He was
that's,
I told him I was like, yeah, he's still not home from school. Oh, he's still not home from the hospital. Yeah, he never left school.
Back to school from beating
from the thrashing. Yeah.
The thrashing. I give him a sound thrashing, grandfather. A sound thrashing. He made a comment about Yale. Gesundheit again, man. You got pepper up your nose.
Yeah, I got bad allergies.
It'll happen.
Yeah.
I have this is a room full of cats.
Is it?
It is not.
Oh, okay,
I do not have animals.
Yeah, I'm actually allergic to cats.
I know you are.
Yeah,
You mentioned it when you saved that cat.
I get baboon lips, but I will if I had to have a cat, I would take a cat. I love cats.
I don't hate them. Mm-hmm. I have no hatred towards cats.
I bet you anything. If you have if you bond with a cat once, you'll fall in love with them.
I have.
Yeah.
I have bonded with a cat one time that walked into my apartment in Phuket and just hung out for 11 days and just left on its own when it's time to go.
Yep.
That cat was a whore. That cat also bonded with Strangler. So Strangler had it for a while. It was always there, and I think it saw me a bunch of times hanging out because we were hanging out for a while. Mm-hmm. And then the second he left, he took off, and then the cat was like, "That guy just showed up," and now you're feeding it because it's a cute little orange tabby.
Thing. Orange cat. Those ginger cats are my favorite.
Little ginger cat. Mm-hmm. So cut a little water bottle, made a little food. Mm-hmm. The cat hung around, and then right when I was leaving, it was gone. Like the day I was leaving the place, had my door open, didn't see it after that. Oh. It's a great little cat.
Well, let's get to your notes.
Oh, the notes there's really not a whole lot there. I was going to go into, I was going to carry on with something we just said about the finish a fight, stop a fight.
Yeah.
Do this, do that. I was getting all upset about I was watching Black Lightning.
Of course you were.
You've watched that?
Yeah.
We've watched it all. I like the CW shows. I enjoy them all. And I can't, okay. I don't need superhero characters to be aggressive or violent or kill. The Man of Steel, like the neck snappy thing, that was never a problem for me.
That's the best part of the movie.
It's the best. You know what? You're not wrong. Because it really is. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Superman's killed before, all that kind of stuff. I don't like when a character in a comic book or in a movie, this is lazy writing, and it was like a pet peeve of mine. I don't like it when one character walks up and says to another character who has like either a code or doesn't kill or is a non-violent character in certain ways, even though they're superpowered. So the whole idea of just because you can doesn't mean you should. It applies to them. I don't like when another character's like, I'm going to need you to kill him this time. You got to get there. You have to kill him. I don't want you to like stand there and say like, no, he's a good guy. I would much rather have the character do what happened in Man of Steel, where the fight goes to a place where they don't want it to go, which is like there's going to be an end, and the end is going to end. It's going to end in death. And I like it more when a superhero ends up having to do something without everybody telling him, and then is damaged by that. Like, why did you make me do that?
That because then that's an emotional journey they go through.
It's an emotional journey they go through. It's a natural ending. So I much rather would watch a character. We know already Batman doesn't kill. He doesn't like to do it. He won't kill the Joker. But if it comes to that point where it's like him or an innocent, and then he has to kill the character, the villain, the character dies, and the hero is then damaged by it, then has to move on from that or grow from that.
Yeah.
You have more time to tell that story in movies or in TV than you do in movies.
Yeah.
So I understand why in movies it's got to happen. But it's just like that's become a trope, it feels like, in all sorts of superhero or like good guy versus like good versus evil storytelling. And it's just like it's got to go, man.
Yeah.
Like that shit's got to go.
Yeah.
Like it's been lazy writing in The Walking Dead. It's been lazy writing in things like Black Lightning, and then it gets like criticized when it's done properly, which I think it was actually done properly in Man of Steel. But then like that movie's like Superman doesn't kill. I'm like, well, Superman's killed many times in comic books.
Yeah.
Superman did the kill shot on Doomsday.
Yeah.
That was a deliberate kill shot.
Exactly.
He killed the Phantom Zone villains.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. There you go. Yeah.
He executed Zod and his little Phantom Zone cronies with kryptonite.
With kryptonite.
He friggin' put kryptonite in a projector, hit them with it, and killed them. And just because they're from a different dimension doesn't mean they weren't alive.
Yeah. The realization is that, okay, he's that powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, there's going to be some collateral damage along the way. So
Absolutely.
So yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah, that was a big pet peeve for me. It was just stuck in my head when we were talking about like the superhero or what were we just talking about? The idea of like, a good guy shouldn't do it just because they have the power. Like a person shouldn't just get into fights because they can.
I abused my power. I did. Yeah.
Oh no, you absolutely did. I'm not attacking you personally. I'm just saying
man.
that you were mirroring
Do you think these fists have been just dipped in liquid ivory?
in ivory liquid, ivory soap.
Ivory soap. Yeah.
His hands have been resting.
What do you think? What do you think, Junior?
What a great character, man. That's another underrated. You know what? People don't realize how good of an actor Michael Richards really was in that show.
That scene was so funny. What do you think, Junior? Hey, Kramer, you ever killed a man?
What do you think, Junior?
You think these hands been soaking in ivory liquid?
What a great show. You know what just like blows my mind is that Susan was only in that show for one season.
Yeah.
Like she was a character in and out from the beginning, but she was only one season. It was like season 7?
And then no one was really close with her on the set. They're just like he just left. And they're like
They didn't give her the time. That was Jason Alexander just talked about it.
Yeah.
Like we were not nice to her. We did not treat her well because she was not a hero. She was a villain in everybody's eyes.
Yep.
But I can't believe it. Like she had a lot of impact, man. Because you can't think of Seinfeld without thinking of George's marriage to Susan.
Yeah.
Or engagement to Susan.
Engagement. Yeah.
Just the postponement scene when he has that freak out of postponing.
Yeah.
It. That's the second episode of that season, man.
Yeah. When he cried.
Yeah.
He's let it all out.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It feels like it was just like a month between when he gets engaged. Not a month, like 20 episodes between the engagement and when he needs to postpone it. And it was literally one episode.
Yeah.
Oh, Susan. Oh, Susan.
Susan.
Hey, have you ever taken...
I love when you ask me questions.
This is a good one.
I love it, yeah.
But that's kind of how the show goes. We banter for a little while. You got some stuff, I got some stuff. And then I have like a hard-hitting personal question that makes you take stock of who you... No, it's never like that. It's never like... It's all fluff.
Yeah, it's like, what's your favorite book?
It's all fluff. There any good books lately? Backside Attack?
Okay,
Do you like James Bond? Have you ever taken yourself... I guess we already kind of talked about it. Have you ever taken yourself too seriously to where you became a cartoon of yourself? I was thinking about this a little while ago. Have you ever? Is there a part of your personality maybe that? And this is something that I was wondering because I was kind of pointing it out in someone else. And I thought about myself. I was doing a lot of introspective thought, and I thought I will ask you this question: have you ever taken yourself maybe too seriously? Like, when is a time that you took a step back where you saw it, where you're like, you know what, this shit's got to stop?
Yeah. There's been moments where you're like, no matter how much you do, like how much you're doing it or how little you're doing it, where you're putting yourself out there, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
And you're making I guess you're making a spectacle out of yourself, basically, right?
Yes.
Whether like grandstanding, talking loud, or like being the center of attention, or whatever it is. Yeah, I've had those moments where I was like, people, because I don't really talk that much with my friends. Like I'm more of I'm
You're
more
a
of quiet
listener?
person.
Yeah.
But
You're the creepy one in the group.
yeah, I guess so.
The fly in the wall.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've had instances where like I've craved the attention because I wasn't getting it at home.
oh, it just got
That's
sad.
why I crave it so much now. But no, because I remember like especially in
Did you ever call the kids' help phone?
Huh?
No, like, did you ever call the kids' help phone?
No.
I wasn't getting the attention at home, Mom, so I had to rob a liquor store.
I've done that once. Like when
You ever robbed a liquor store?
no, I got no. But,
Acted out because you weren't getting the attention at home.
yeah, I did act out, and I actually wrote. I remember I went.
This is gonna be good.
I didn't get the I didn't get the Christmas present I wanted.
Bone Storm?
No, yeah, Bone Storm. Yeah, mine was the actual model of Airwolf.
Oh, get out of town.
Yeah, so I really wanted that, and then my mom, remember Consumers Digest? Remember that
Consumers distributing.
distributing? Yeah, she
You can't touch the toys.
She said she was gonna just stop by there, but she didn't stop by there, and then I was acting like a brat, and then what I did is that I just wrote it on our back deck. I took a Sharpie, a big thick thing, and I told her, I said, I wrote this on here because you did not get me the Airwolf toy.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
Did she tan your hide, so to speak? Because
no, she just I said I wrote this, and then I my mom saw it, and I'm like, and then the next day I was like, I felt so bad. I'm like, why did I put it on there? And then my mom saw it, and she said, did you write that? And I said, yeah.
Well, clearly you did.
I said, yeah, I wrote that. I said, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I don't even want the toy anymore.
Oh, that's very that's a very like what's the word I'm looking for? Not heartfelt, but you really felt it. Like you really felt like a dick.
Yeah, I felt. I was like, I just because I thought to myself, that was one of those moments where you just like
Sobering.
It's sobering because you take a look. It's like, how are you coming off?
Yeah.
And then so then I saw about that. I'm like, my mom probably thinks I'm an idiot. And then so I just said, I told her, I'm like, I wrote that because I am so sorry. I'm like, I didn't even want I said, I don't even want it anymore. I said to her, like, I don't even want a Christmas present.
How old were you this time?
Maybe
11?
like
12?
No, maybe 9.
9? Yeah, because Airwolf was like mid to late 80s.
Yeah, so I was about 9, and then I said, I don't even want it anymore. And and so then the next day she actually brought it for me.
I think she recognized.
Yeah, and I gave it.
I
I gave it to my brother, and I was like, no, I don't. I'm like, give it to him.
Well, it was stained now.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't deserve this.
Yeah, it was stained with your insolence.
Yeah, so then he gave me Ultra Magnus.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah. And you know what? I bet you that Ultra Magnus like holds a special place in your heart.
Yeah.
Because like you really like you recognize at a young age, like that's pretty young to recognize it, like, oh, that was a dick move, pal.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a dick move.
Yeah. There's also like I think everyone has those moments where like you're people put themselves in positions where like they feel like they have to their voice has to be heard.
Yeah.
Or they're not getting the attention they receive, so they'll blurt something out like and what has nothing to do with the conversation, but they just want to be noticed.
Yeah.
And then you stand on a table basically, and your voice, you're just saying all this stuff just for the sake of getting attention.
Yeah.
But you don't know how bad you're coming across, and so that's one thing I haven't done that, but at the same time, it's like I just want to make sure that I don't want to come off as someone who craves attention or comes off as like some guys like oh god,
like the life of the party.
The life of the party.
Well, the idea is that you don't want to be the Homer Simpson flying the ice cube dream.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
that's right. Yeah.
That's really what it is, right?
Yeah.
Homer is like, I put a fly in your ice cube. Mm-hmm. I put it there.
When
you weren't looking.
Quite
hilarious.
He has a little
the monocle. And the top hat. He's like a New Yorker cartoon, right? Like you don't want to be that guy.
No,
but
it actually like I get shivers thinking about it.
Oh yeah, like I mean the meme. Like I think we were talking about the whole idea with the today a buddy of ours from online. He's a buddy of ours in real life too, but he's a meme sharer online. Mm-hmm. But he had that meme where it's like this is a photo of that guy from that show you like. saying a made up line that you're gonna post on your timeline and make your friends roll their eyes at you again.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to be a cartoon. Nobody wants to be the guy who everybody's like, oh, here we fucking go again. But sometimes, like, you know, you become that guy.
Yeah, you do, because it's sometimes it's a coping mechanism, because you're just like, you don't know, you're like, something's missing in your life, and you don't know how to like act appropriately in a social situation.
Not me at Backside Attack. I'm a complete and whole person. I'm fully formed. I'm absolutely okay.
Yeah, you're very wholesome.
I'm very wholesome.
Yeah. You're like a granola bar.
I like to think that I'm granola bar-ish.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can absolutely tell. There were times for sure, in places I worked, definitely, where I felt like I had to be everything to everybody. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody had an idea of who I was. I was the supervisor for some people. I was the best friend to other people. I was the comic relief for some people. Mm-hmm. And it gets fucking tiring, man. It's like, it is one of those things where it's like, I can't keep this up.
No, it's because what you do is you start to develop like certain identities, and you don't know how to keep track of it.
In those environments, I'm definitely a people pleaser.
Well, see, that's the thing. Depending upon the environment, that's totally true.
Yeah, and it's tiring.
Yeah, that happens, because you know, like, you have to, then you have to create a balancing act. Like, you know, okay, I'm professional with this person, but I'm friends with this person. Then and you're all in the same. You're in the same environment. So, like, you're like, how do I balance all of this?
Well, it's tough, right? Especially like if you're, and I know you've been there too, in workplaces where you have to be, in a sense, you've got to kind of like daddy everybody, because you've got to be the guy who can lay down the law. Mm-hmm. You've got to keep your troops safe, or you've got to keep them at least, like, you know, keep the job safe.
Yeah.
And then you've got to be friends with certain people, but then you have to like yell at certain people who then may become your friends. And now it's hard to discipline them when they're acting out or doing the wrong thing. Yeah. And then you end up in this weird place. You're like, oh, no, I get it. I get why the people always tell you, the bosses always tell you, like, you know, be stern, don't be their friend. You're their parent, not their friend. Like, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think one thing that really helped me was that to like really, because sometimes you'll catch yourself doing it and you won't even realize it. Mm-hmm. I think one thing that really helped me was that was the fact of, like, you know what, just get over yourself.
Yo, that's a big one.
Yeah, just get over yourself. You're not like you don't have to be everyone's hero or someone that everyone has to listen to at a party, or be the straw that stirs the drink. You don't have to be that person.
No.
Yeah. So like, that's one thing I'd really learned, is like, just get over yourself.
I do think there are people who do that naturally, though. Like, there are people out there who are like the Seinfeld of their group without realizing it. Mm-hmm. Like, they end up being the person who everybody else is friends with, or in, like you say, the straw that stirs the drink, but they're not trying to be. No, it's a natural some people, easy talent.
Yeah, some people can. Like, I think people like, some people have that. Some people are doing that regardless, like, whether they know it or not. Mm-hmm. But if they're not trying to do it. But if it comes off as like organic, but if that is their natural tendency, it doesn't come off like they're trying to do it. Like, they're just like, yeah, man, like, that person's such a great people person, because they can people are automatically attracted to that person, because their social skills are developed.
Nobody's rolling their eyes at them.
No.
Yeah, and at the same time, they also don't. I think that
people at this age are not dumb. They can sense it when you're trying a little bit too hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, oh god, they totally do.
Yeah, I know people like that.
I've known people on the flip side of that. I've known people who. Oh man, and this is so. Don't take it personally, people out there. But I've known people who I don't respect or trust. Probably more trust. That I don't trust at all, and maybe to an extent also don't fully respect. But man, do I like hanging out with them. Mm-hmm. Like that's a weird paradox for me. Because, like, for me, I'm like, man, like, I don't want to be like them. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have their lifestyle. I don't like their personal, like their ethics, their morals are messed up, but they've never done it with me, and I don't mind hanging out with them. Yeah, like, I know a few people like that. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, they're gross. Mm-hmm. You're so slimy. You're the worst. Yeah, but I don't mind hanging out with you. Exactly. Like, I can spend time with you. Yeah. It doesn't kill me to hang out with you. And when you make a phone call and you call me up and say, "Hey, bar tonight," or "Hey, let's go here, come on over," I'm like, yeah, man. But at no point ever would I want to be that person. Yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of emotional baggage, I think. When you're like that, because you feel like you have to perform every night. It is. They're the fun Bobby. Yeah. Like, I was never right. like a big believer in that character, but like that they're the fun Bobby.
Yeah.
Like they're out there having a great time. They take a real deep dive into who they are and like, you're so gross. You gross me out.
Yeah.
I would never want to be you. I
Like-
don't know how the people who live with you cope with you.
Yeah.
But
it's
hanging out with you.
yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. Some people are they thrive in that environment, but I just feel like that way of, if you do it too much, if you're constantly looking to be like the outspoken person in your and even if you need that in your life, it's at some point, depending on how often you do it, it just completely becomes like completely unsustainable.
It is unsustainable. It's unsustainable. It's like super off-putting.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. It's a super paradox.
Yeah.
It's not just like paradoxical. We're like, that's quirky. How could you hang out with them if you don't like them? That's weird. That's strange to me. How could you? It's not just that. It's like, how could you possibly do it if you're that put off by this person? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, he's coming. Oh
God.
Okay, everyone.
Everybody just let's all go get a massage first.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'll lose.
I got plans.
I got plans.
I can't make it.
I got plans, pal. Man, yeah. There's some people who are like that. I used to work with a dude who was like that. When you work with him, he didn't mind it. Like, we knew who he was. We knew everything about him. He's a man. Well, he wasn't a manager. He was like a supervisor of a place, a certain place. You can hang out with a dude. It was fine as long as you knew what you were dealing with, and the people around you knew who you're dealing with. If new people came to hang out with you, you'd have to kind of like warn them, like, look, he's abrasive, he's off-putting, he's a moron.
Yeah.
But he's our moron, so we deal with him.
Yeah.
We would go out and eat in places and restaurants, and he would talk to the service staff a certain way in places that we were familiar with. The service staff knew us really well, and we would let them know in the conversation while he was being a dick. Hey Alice, when you're bringing us our food, make sure you only just spit in his plate, okay?
Yeah.
And he looked at you like he's totally clueless. He had no idea what was going on. He's oblivious. Why would they spit in my plate? I just want things done exactly how I want it done. If my bacon isn't both crispy and soft, I'm gonna be freaking pissed. Like, okay, just his food gets spat in, right? Cool, right on.
Yeah.
And his food always came out crappy.
Yeah. I would say that I know people like that, but like, no one is perfect, so I'm not sure if sometimes I come across like that. I'm not sure if I do.
That's just it, right? It's a tough one. That's why you kind of have to like take a second and realize.
Yeah, you have to like if you have to be. It's good to be conscious about that kind of stuff, because if you're not, you know who you're going to turn off or how you're going to come across. It's I think that's kind of important about, like, if you're going to be in a social situation, like it's one thing not to care, but at the same time, it's like, man, you do not come across well like tonight. If someone doesn't like snatch you by the collar and pull you aside and tell you like, buddy, that was not cool.
Not cool, man.
Yeah,
not cool.
Like I've never put myself in that position where it's like someone has to pull me aside and be like, man, you're being a dick or whatever like that, right? If I am doing that, I tell the person who's trying to pull me aside and be like, yeah, I am, but I'm trying to be a dick.
I'm deliberately being a dick.
Exactly. You didn't interrupt me.
Now I have done that.
I've done that so many times.
I was
not so many times, but like I've done that.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Because you were there. There's a friend of the show, and we were out, and he kind of pre-warned me that another guy who was there is a complete asshole. That guy's demeaning to me. He's shitty to me. He's never nice to me. I friggin' hate that guy.
Yeah.
And then immediately I noticed the guy's also trying to be the life of the party. So a friend is telling me that person A, who came in with person B, who I think I know, but person A is a dick to my friend all the time. And I went like full RoboCop. Where, like, I zoned in on him. The targeting system happened. My objectives were destroy this guy tonight.
Yeah.
Destroy this guy. And next thing you know, person B comes up and he's like, hey, I kind of know you, right? I'm like, yeah, I know you. He's like, hey, how are things? I'm like, pretty good. And then person A starts talking to me. I'm like, you're just, like, I didn't give him the time of day. I was mean. I was rude. I was snarky. I was quirky. I was taking shots at this guy. I was making his friends laugh at him. And it was just mean. Like, it was all mean-spirited.
Yeah.
To another friend was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You are being really rude. I had to let him know why I was being really rude.
Yeah.
And then we were both really rude.
Yeah.
And I made his friends laugh at him. And afterwards, I felt awful. I still think about that. I'm like, oh my God. If lucky we were in a room with people who knew us, who all kind of were in on it, except for like this one guy and a couple of his friends. But man, I still like feel I still see his friends, person A's friends. I see them every now and then. And I try to be so nice to him. Like I go out of my way to be really, really polite
Yeah.
because I feel so bad about what I did.
Yeah, I didn't. I think that. Yeah, I remember like feeling remorse after I did one of them. I can't remember which one it was.
Where
But
you were deliberately being rude to somebody.
yeah, and I was like, man, that's just. I'm like, whoa. And then I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I apologized. And then but yeah, like we've all been dicks in some form or fashion. But I didn't want to.
Totally.
There's been instances where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I have to like let that person. I have to let it be known what this to this person what I actually think of them. So it sets a precedent where like, you know what? This is where a relationship starts.
Yeah.
This is where it ends. And like this is how I look at it. Don't try to like don't try to create something out of nothing because you're not getting anything from me. So don't waste your time.
Well, well, that seems more the way you're describing that seems more noble to me because, like, you know, for whatever reason, you've decided this person's character is not the best, and you were letting them know ahead of time, without going out of your way to be a dick, without making their friends laugh at them.
Yeah, it's like
you're stopping a potential relationship before it even starts, so they know where you stand.
Yeah. So, but same time, I'll try to I'll insert a joke in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like about but like not in the sense of like it'll like a joke waiting for like a punchline.
Yeah.
But the delivery is about like when I'm saying it, it will incite laughter.
It's a Winston Churchill joke.
Yeah. So like they'll be like, okay, they're like, okay, that was like Raj. That's typical Raj. Like he's just saying what's on his mind, and like he lets that person know that you mean nothing to them. You mean nothing to them.
You're dead to
so
me.
Yeah. So like don't try to start anything with him, like because it's like he's not gonna care.
Yeah.
So that's happened, and and I think I told you about it, but yeah, I just said, you know what, there was no other way for me to say it, so I just had to put it in context where like how I like to do it, and so it did elicit like a lot of laughter, but then everyone's like, then I think that person's other friend, like co-friend, was like, don't take it personally. That's just the way he is. And but yeah, don't bother.
Don't bother trying to become friendly.
Don't bother trying to become friendly because you're not going to get anything back in return.
Yeah, he's already like I know this. I know what's happening here.
Yeah,
I recognize that he has already realized that you guys aren't going to be chummy.
Yeah,
for whatever reason. So just don't even try, man.
Yeah, it was a female.
Oh man, yeah, that's rough too. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so I said basically, and her boyfriend was right there, and I said it right to her face.
That's excellent.
And I knew her boyfriend too.
Did you? Okay, so let's just break this down for a second. You had a female come into your group of friends.
No, she had no. We've known her for we know her like she was in our group. She was in our group of friends.
Yeah.
And we knew her, but then I just as soon as I got to know her, I'm like, man, I cannot stand this person.
You and me are not gonna be friends.
Yeah, I said, you know what, I gotta like. I don't want to, and the thing is, I don't want to be fake to her and be like, "Oh, really? Oh, you ran 5 kilometers today? Fantastic, right?
Training for a marathon?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, really?
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
So what kind of shoes do you have?
I hate. I just hate those conversations.
I can't stand it
because they're fake and they're just like you have to, and then you have to search for something.
Yeah.
So like nothing's gonna come naturally where you actually care about what they want to say, or like. Like it's just a waste of time. So I just said, you know what? I just cut it right there, and then I just laid it out, and I said, you know what? I basically said, I'm like, we shouldn't talk to each other anymore. I just said,
we have nothing in common.
We have nothing in common. I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just don't take that. I said, don't take it personally. I'm like, I want nothing to do with you. I'm like, that's if you talk to everybody else, that's totally cool. I'm like, I want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And then and I'm like, I don't care if it's the same wave back. I'm like, that's even better. And so but she's like really like a real people person, or at least she thinks she is. And then
that's even worse.
Yeah. So then, but her eyes were like just like bug-eyed out of her head, and she's like this, right? So I was like, okay, whatever. So I just walked away.
She's trying to process why somebody doesn't like her. She's oblivious to it.
But the thing is, like, no one talked to her like this before. That's
the problem.
Yeah, and I was told this, and so because she had a very alpha male, like alpha personality. But then but when the sledgehammer came down on her, she didn't know how to react. So that it took like her it took her cousin to like say like, yeah, there's no chance of you two, like, even though you think that because
You can win him
yeah,
over?
because he runs and he does a lot of athletics. He goes, that's because you have that stuff in common with him. You're not going to build anything off that.
No.
If he doesn't want to talk to you, he's not going to talk to you.
Game over.
Yeah, that's what he told me. What he told her.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So
I think like sometimes people need like a hard dose of reality.
yeah,
Like, you know, you're not like whatever. But you know why? Because for her, the fact that you were like that probably just discombobulated her. Nobody talks to her like that.
No.
She has no idea why
I
somebody
don't
would
think so.
speak
Yeah,
to her like that.
But I think more people, personally speaking, I think more people should speak to her like that.
Well, people like that.
Like
not
that,
her
actually.
specifically, but people who are like her. More people should be talking to people
Yep.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just set set parameters. This is how people work in the real world. Not everybody's gonna like you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're abrasive. Some people will tell you. Some people will just be like, "Not for me," and walk away. Not everybody's gonna go fall over their feet to like please you.
Yeah, like, you know, not everyone's gonna like, but what you said is absolutely correct. There's not everyone's gonna like when you meet someone, you're not gonna like hit it off and become best friends with everybody, right?
No, man.
Someone you're gonna run into a roadblock at some point with some
Yeah.
people. So, but yeah, it's
This is a human who wasn't socialized well.
no,
No, I mean I don't mean that in the like in a rude sense, like you socialize an animal, but like really, like when you're a little kid, you need to go to daycare, or you need to go to school, or you need to go to play school. You need to interact with people. You have to understand why you don't, take Timmy's toys
yeah,
because Timmy might get pissed and smack you in the mouth. Like you have to have those interactions.
yeah,
And some people don't get that, and they're always reinforced like you're the best, you're the greatest, you're the most awesome
Yeah.
kid in the world.
yeah. And I remember that when after I said it, I sat back down, and that's when I did a kind of I was like, I thought to myself, and I said, did I take myself too seriously there?
Nah.
Then I said, wait a minute, did I? I'm like, do I have to get over myself? Like, do I have an elite kind of like personality like that? Do I think I'm too good for people? I said no. Like, do I want? Then I said to her, I'm like, do I want her in my life? Like talking to her, and I said no. I said no, forget it. I think I did the right thing. So yeah, but no remorse. Yeah,
Yeah, I know. I don't think you should.
it took like 30 seconds, and I was like, I just shook it off, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No, you're in that case, it's not quite what I was talking about. Like, do you take yourself too seriously, or like, did you?
But the way you said it, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I think there are some times when you kind of have to do that. I've done that a couple times where you give your head a shake, like, oh man, it backfired me one time. There was a fella, and I've talked about it before, where, he was never the kind of person I like hanging out with. Friend of a friend that I see every now and then, like maybe like once a year.
Yeah.
Once every like twice a year kind of a deal.
Sorry, just keep going. I'll tell you the head shake.
Yeah. So, we were kind of hanging out one night, and I decided I was not going to be like a standoffish, because this is a person who I was always kind of standoffish with, because they're not fun to hang out with. They take themselves too seriously. They think everything they own is the best. I was like, you know what? Give him a chance. Maybe he's changed. Like, he's married now. I think he had a kid or something like that. Maybe he's changed. And I decided to be nice, and it backfired because he was still a piece of shit. And it was one of those things where, like, immediately, it's like, oh man, I should have been awful. I should have been awful to this human from the start.
Yeah.
I wasn't. I gave the head a shake. I was like, was I being a dick? Yeah, you were being a dick before. There he is. You be nice. And I was nice, and it just backfired.
Yeah. This is the head shake I did.
That's the head shake you did?
Yeah. Just press play.
Oh, the
Right here. But then all of a sudden,
the Street Fighter.
Yeah.
No, I am right.
Yeah.
This person is awful. I should have done the head shake. I should have done the whole where it's like, no, don't go over there and make friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the better part of us wants to be a nice person.
Yeah.
And the better part of us wants to be, like loved, for a lack of a better term.
Yeah.
You want the accolades. You want to be loved. You want people to like you. But then sometimes you try, and then to somebody who it's going to backfire. And it backfires. Like, why was I being so nice?
Yeah.
God, this should have been.
I think the main thing is like, you have to obviously the general rule is to be nice to everybody. Like, you just have to
Be a good human.
Be a good human being. So like when people are around, they get a good vibe from you, and they're like, yeah. But then but that doesn't mean you have to, like, every person comes up to you that you don't have to be friends with.
No, you can be a good person and still not be friends with people who you're being good to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the thing is, like, just be honest with yourself.
Yeah, be honest with yourself.
And just be like, don't create these weak friendships that they're going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then when you talk to that person, you can't wait for the conversation to end.
Oh, that's the worst.
That's the worst.
Here's the problem with that one too. There are friends that I've got who don't know how to end a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to read like it's been nice talking to you. Like you don't get it, but at the same time, they're so kind that even when they don't read the break in the conversation to end the conversation on the phone, they just start saying something else. They're like, oh God, I'll let him keep going.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to him, all week.
I know.
I got nowhere to be. There's no clock tick tocking. Friggin'.
Then you look at the phone. And you look at the call time. It's like 2 hours, and you're like,
oh God.
I could have stretched in that time. I could have done so many. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? They called you for a reason. So
they called you to reconnect,
vent, whatever it is. But like, if you're that person for them,
little different than the initial question about like, do you ever take yourself too seriously?
Yeah,
but a good segue into that. On the do you ever take yourself too seriously part, I just had a conversation with a friend of mine who went to a party where he kind of ended up roasting everybody. Like he got a little bit too drunk and he just roasted the shit. It was a group of people who he knew and some people he didn't know, but everybody's a friend of a friend. Everybody had like a degree of separation.
Yeah.
So, there was nobody in there that was going to be a surprise that this person showed up. It's like, who the hell was that guy?
Yeah.
Well, that was like Tim's great uncle's neighbor's friend. This was like where he showed up to a party. There's a buddy of mine went to a party and just had a few too many and roasted everyone and thought he was being hilarious. And then had that idea reinforced to him by other friends who were there. We're like, man, last night you were on fire. You were great. And he's like, oh, God, I woke up this morning and sobered up and thought I was awful to everybody. And then like a couple of days later, another friend called him and is like, you were the worst human being ever.
Really?
Like you were destroying people for no reason. He's like, I'm getting like mixed messages here, man. All the feedback so far has been you were hilarious. You had a little bit too much to drink. You were loud and boisterous, but for the most part, you were really funny. To where now, like one guy called him up. It's like, you were an embarrassment. Really? You were an embarrassment to your family's name.
Oh, jeez.
You destroyed everybody for no reason. People who were telling you were on fire, they should be burned at the stake too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God.
Oh man.
I thought I was like, the roller coaster of emotion. Like I don't know if I can handle that.
No. Yeah. It's hard. I think because that's the thing. Me too. I just don't want to put myself in a position of like of grandstanding. I'm not good at it.
Well, not when you're sober and doing it on purpose. If you get liquored up,
if I get liquored up
and you're at a party,
then like all bets are off.
All bets are off, man.
Yeah.
Like I mean, do you get that? Do you get that like the mental walk of shame, the remorse? Like have you ever obviously?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning and you're sober and like, what did I do?
What the hell did I just do? I'm like, oh God.
Why did I do all of that?
I know. I'm just like,
it's always worse in your head.
Yeah, it hasn't happened. It doesn't happen. I can't remember. Like, well, obviously it's happened in the past, right? But like, it doesn't happen now. But I think. Well,
we're older and wiser now, and much better people.
Yeah, but I think also like when people see you do that, like that's a pretty extreme example you just gave. But I think
getting drunk and.
Yeah, like, but for me, it's like in front of like all those people and stuff like that. I think a lot of people, but even if you take it down a little bit, so like when you're drunk in front of people, and you make an ass out of yourself or whatever it is, right? A lot of people have been there.
I think anybody who's drank has probably eventually gotten there.
Everyone makes the ass of themselves and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if it's your close friends and family, you're just like, it's a story you can laugh at.
I've never done that in front of family. I've never had that thing in front of family. You're like, you guys so liquored up.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
Set this whole family on fire.
Yeah, I remember one time we were at one of my it was like a second cousin. He was getting married, and we, myself and my cousin, we got. I can show you pictures from it. We got so drunk, like we were like barely be able to walk. We were so drunk, and then like I went to the washroom and I puked everywhere. I'm a puker, like I admit it.
You've talked about it here.
Yeah, I'm a total puker. And then my cousin came in into the washroom and he looked at me and I was washing my face and getting all the junk off my face, and then I'm like I can't walk, and then he's like because I can't walk either. So we sat in so we went to a toilet stall and we sat on the toilet. And he sat on my lap.
That's such a Leonardo or Donatello, Michelangelo.
Yeah, we're just sitting there. We're like, and then no one could find us.
Oh God!
And then all of a sudden, someone kicked the door open, the stall door open. They saw us, and people just started laughing their ass off. We're like,
oh my God, that is great.
Yeah,
that is one of those things you hear. It's like it's sweet and weird and messed up.
It was harmless.
Harmless, man.
Oh yeah, but they said the seeing you two like sitting on top of each other was hilarious.
That's a cute story. That's actually that's like one of those things that it humanizes you in the eyes of your family.
Yeah, it's and then when I came home, I came home and I came home and then my parents were like this is a long time ago. My parents were just like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And I said, "I'm like, oh." And then I came home. Then I went on our main floor washroom. I was just like puking everywhere. My mom was just she was laughing her ass off. She's like, "Oh my god." And she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." She's like, she's like, "Oh my!" She's like,
oh no!
Then she's like, "Told brother." She's like, "Just stay with him. Make sure he's okay. If he needs water or anything." And afterwards, just take him upstairs to the shower.
Oh god.
Yeah, and then but the thing is, like for me, it's like depending on how much. But after I vomit, I feel way better.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It is the
like
thought of throwing up is rough.
Yeah, exactly. But
once you do it,
because I'm just like, I just want to get it out.
Yeah.
But once it's out, I feel like I'm like, yeah, just give me. I can take another drink. But I never do though.
Yeah, no, it's probably not a good idea. That's the road to alcohol poisoning.
Exactly. I remember like one time I treated a bouncer really not badly, but I said I was in Vancouver. I was at the Lamplighter with all my cousins. We were all there, and I puked in the washroom. And bouncer saw me, and you know what happens if a bouncer sees you throw up?
You're out the door.
Yeah, you're out the door. So the guys, I said, yeah, I'm leaving. I said, yeah, you're right. I have to go. And then but then he grabbed my arm. So I said, I'm like, yeah, I'm walking out. I'm like, you can let go of me. So I snatched my arm away from him. I'm like, I said, I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm leaving.
Yeah,
and so I said, don't. Then he grabbed my arm again, and I pulled it back, and I'm like, I told you I'm leaving. Jesus Christ! I'm like, the exit's right here. And so then he's like, you're not coming back in. I said, I know that. I don't want to come back in. Then I was in Vancouver, and I was like, wait a minute. all my friends
hell
in there.
am I?
So I was like, who am I? So then I went to get a Japa dog. I just walked out downtown until everyone was done.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Getting drunk and lost in a strange city is no fun.
Yeah, it's but
I do not recommend.
Yeah, the worst I've ever felt though was one of the worst ones was 2000. Yeah, a couple years ago, my cousin just skied when he got married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a party van and we were just we're drinking like crazy. Most of the boys were on the bus, and then we were drinking and stuff like that. We were going hard, and we had to finish it quickly because once the party van left, that's it. That's it, right? So then we had to finish everything.
It's all the free booze you get.
Yeah. Then as soon as we left, before we went in there, we smoked some pot, and then so I mixed the two, which is a bad idea. So when we got to the casino, I was sitting there. I'm like, oh man, I'm like, I don't feel good. So then I wasn't hungry, but I drank a lot of water. But then I went to the washroom, and I was like at the table. It was in my mouth, and then I just went, oh my god. So then I ran to the washroom, and inside the casino, and I opened the stall, and I barely had time to shut the door, and I just let loose, and it went all over everywhere.
You are such like that is your move. Your move is to get drunk and then throw up.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm like,
it was really bad.
Yeah, it was terrible. And then it was everywhere, and it was like it's like I was putting out a fire. And then
your throat is just getting destroyed.
Yeah, it was like, and then guys were like coming in. I didn't even know were coming in. They were like, "Oh man," he's like, "Are you okay, bro?" And I said, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man." And they're like, "No, man, we've all been there.
We've all been there."
And they got guys, these strangers, they're tapping my back. They're like, "Are you okay?"
You more than most. Well, we have all been there.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Sorry, man." I'm like, "I'm good, man. I'm sorry, man." And then they're like, "Yeah, man. Don't worry about it, man. We're all there. Like, do you need anything?" And I said, "No, man, I'm good." I said, "Thanks a lot."
Water and a sandwich.
And then so then I went back to the table. And then my stomach started creeping up again. And I was like, oh, God, here we go. And then I went back. It was even worse the second time.
Jeez, man.
And then it was just coming out. And then next thing, the washroom was like, it looked like it was painted like that color.
Like, just destroyed.
Yeah, just like, it looked like you're
just like pieces of corn and
you name it. And
carrots.
It was just everywhere. And then I went
ham sandwich from 84.
I went back a third time.
Oh,
emptied up my guts. And it was like, I was just getting it all out. And then the guy came in again, and he's like, people are like, "Are you okay?" Then Sandy came into the stall, and he looked at me, and I was like, He's like, who else threw up? I'm like, this is all. I said to him, like, this is all
Who else
me.
threw up?
This is all me.
Why are you using a bathroom that somebody clearly has thrown up in before?
Yeah. So then I just got out and I shut the door and I was like, I washed my face and I was like, then finally just shook my head. And I was like,
Give my head a shake.
I was like, oh, and then I was like, and I just like, yeah. And then
all your stories are giving your head a shake, getting the heebie-jeebies, and walking away from a vomit.
Yeah. So yeah, I cleaned my face. I wiped out. Then all of a sudden I was like, whew, okay, I feel better.
I feel better.
Walked out and I was like, never happened.
Never happened. I have a bourbon. Neat.
Yeah. I'm not a very like I can't. Like, no one should mix the two.
No, mixing stuff like that is
terrible.
It's
like,
just a recipe
it'll just knock you on your head,
ruining your night.
Yeah, and so then I was like, I got to go outside and get some fresh air.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time. Well, I do remember what I think was the last time, but it was a long time ago. We're talking maybe like more than 15 years ago. Yeah, probably about 18 years ago was the last time I drank too much and threw up. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those ones where it was close to your story. Like I was clearly making an ass of myself. Went out with a bunch of friends, trying to ease the lovelorn feelings of one friend. I'm pretty sure this is the same night. And we met up with another friend we hadn't seen in forever, since like high school, who immediately who was like, oh, my friends, I haven't seen you in like such a long time. It was like fucking graduation was the last time we saw each other. Best friends, love each other for life. And we had that weird kind of like a reconnect and went back to this person's place and ate a cake, like a whole cake. I mean, like all the booze that was in me. I was mixing all kinds of alcohol. Then I had like white flour and buttercream icing. I was like wolfed it back because it was there. And nobody else was touching it. I think maybe because it was past date.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things like, yeah, have as much as you want. Go nuts. Nobody's going to have that. It's going to go in the garbage.
Why is this cake so crunchy?
Why is this cake so crunchy? But I didn't care. Ate the whole thing. Went out to the cab that we called to get us back to our place. And just, it was like projectile. Yeah. It was like everything is coming out. And that was like, I think maybe the last time maybe one of the few times I've ever projectile vomited ever. And especially from drinking. I think maybe that was the only time.
No.
But it was one of those ones where it was like everything I did from beginning to end of that night, like it was just like mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake into vomit.
Yeah, I've done that. I even at that place, Jasper Avenue, 108th Street. What's that place called? The Bank?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember there. I was we were getting someone was like just buying shots or whatever, and then someone threw in front of my face. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll try it. And then I took it, and immediately as soon as it went down, it came back up right away. So I was at the bar. I was like you're the bartender. I was like this. I was at the bar, and I was like, guys, like I could get you something. And I said, and I said, oh, I'm like, give me 1 second here. So I'm like, oh, my shoes are untied. So I went downstairs. I went like this, threw up, and then I put my head back up. I was like, I said, yeah, can I get a Coke?
That is sitcom.
Yeah, it was gross.
That's some sitcom shit right there.
I think I had to move my like my legs back, so I didn't throw up all of my sneakers. But like, yeah,
some poor girl wearing a dress, just getting her legs.
Oh, she probably wiped out. Yeah.
Just getting legs just completely sprayed.
If she had to get her drinks from that point, she would have been like, she must have slipped on my vomit.
No, I meant the girl next to you. Like while you're vomiting directly down. You're wearing pants, so you can't tell. Yeah, but like you know when you're standing next to a waterfall, you get hit by mist.
Oh yeah, like if someone if someone had a dress on, they would have been like pelted with.
Oh yeah, just disgusting.
Yeah, with like undigested food.
Don't say anything.
Yeah,
undigested food. Oh god.
So yeah, moving on.
Oh god.
Enough of my pathetic drinking stories.
No man, I think you know what they do humanize you. They make you less of a God King Xerxes. And more into like the backside attack that we know you are.
Everyone has their fallacies, man.
Whoa, we all do. And that was kind of like what we were getting at. I mean, like, do you recognize when you've gone too far or done things that maybe made you a caricature instead of a character? So, like, you know, and your friends like, yeah, like the guy's a real character. Or it's like, that guy's such a cartoon.
Yeah.
That guy's a friggin' cartoon.
Yeah, and there's also like, I think one thing that really... when you say like when I say like don't take yourself too seriously, or like when you say like how people like look at you and like if you're a bad character, whatever it is that we were just talking about, one of the things that I really took stock of was like when like how am I treating friends or people I know that I've known for so long. So like you look back and be like, there's certain people that I know, I'm like, you know what, you say these things about them, because everyone talks about everyone at some point, about whatever, right? So
Well, we all talk about our friends all the time.
yeah, like because they're
Whether they're here or not.
but yeah, because your friends are so important to you, right?
Yeah.
So like there's Festivus, like where like there's the airing of grievances, but like but you should take stock in like how you treat people who you really respect and who you really care about. And I think that's where I was like, I had a moment where I was like, you know what, how do I come off to these people? Like, like how much do I care what they think?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should, because it's easy to say like, oh, I don't care what they think, right? I don't talk to them that much or whatever it is, right? But then you realize, okay, we've been friends for this long. I should care.
Yeah, well, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, so like I've had those moments where I'm like, you know what, just like whatever it is, like if like dial it back, or you know what, if that person's name comes up in a conversation, tell that person you're talking to how much that person means to you.
Yeah,
even if you don't talk to that person.
Yeah, even if you don't talk to that person, right? Like, there's a weird, like in what you're saying, there's a weird paradox there that you shouldn't care what people think. You shouldn't care what people think, but you should act like you care what people think.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. It's like, you shouldn't let it destroy you.
Yeah, there is a duality to that.
Yeah.
But it's a fine line where you have to cross. But like same time, it's like it's not hard in practice, because like you have to you don't care what people think.
Yeah.
But same time, it's like these are your friends.
They're your friends,
and so whether it's your family or your friends,
you
right?
should treat them like you care what they think.
Yeah, because like because they know you.
Yeah.
So regardless if you don't speak to them or not, like they've known you since like since you were young and got to this point, right? Because like you change.
They've known you before you short hairs.
Yeah, people change very little.
Yeah, they change. Really, that's right. The very base.
Yeah, you can tell who people are going to become.
Yeah.
But same time, it's like people know who you were.
They know who you were.
Yeah. So,
and they can. Well, there's a reason, right? Like now I've never had this in a very like close way, but definitely with like cousins and stuff. You always kind of end up becoming the person you were growing up as an adult when you get together again.
Yeah.
Like family reunions. Like I've seen where like, like brothers of friends of mine, brothers and sisters treat my friends a certain way. I'm like, oh, this is how they were when they were kids.
Yeah.
They're adults. They're in their 40s.
Yeah.
They're acting like they did when they were 10. Like this shit, you always become who you were because you don't really, like you said, you don't really change that much.
No, you don't. You just, you become a little bit, you hopefully become more professional.
Yeah.
And more mature, but like but who you are as a person does not really change.
No. Because you're right. Because I mean, I might not know you the way your brother knows you or the way your cousins know you. But when I see you, not you in particular, but when I see you with your brothers and sisters and cousins and family members, that's who you are.
Yeah.
That guy who all of them are treating you like, that's who you are.
Yeah. It's,
what I mean?
Yeah. It's very weird, but at the same time, it's like, when you, because like you don't realize, like it's been so long since you talked to these people, and there might be like, not fear, but at the same time it's like
Apprehension.
Well, I guess a sense of like, are we still close?
Yeah.
Do I honestly really care what this person thinks of me right now? How much and we've been friends for so long, the foundation's already there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that no effort should be put in to make the relationship not go stale.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, you can put the effort in. I think there's like some people can put the effort in, and you can build a relationship that might be strained. I guess like some people can do that, like in a mature way.
I think it also depends on what kind of relationship you have with the person.
Yeah, depends.
Yeah, because like there's because some people you don't, because like you probably know this. Like there's some friends that you have, right? You don't have to see them for like 7 months, right? One phone call when you guys meet each other,
right away.
You pick up where you left off. I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
And so I think I have that with my core set of friends.
Well, that's why they're your core set of friends.
Yeah, exactly. So, but and then extended friends, you don't really have to try so hard to be like what's going on, like what's new and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like there's you just
you don't have to be starved for their love.
Yeah, don't and it circles back a little bit. Like don't get too eager with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, just calm it down and be yourself.
Weird. Yeah, because that's weird, man. Like people can sense if you try doing that, people can sense right away. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, because I was thinking about that.
We're not this.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was thinking about that last night actually. At around I was just watching TV and I was it sounds so simplistic, but it's no matter what, like this sounds kind of weird, but like no matter what, just be yourself.
Yeah, yeah, man. No, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason it sounds simplistic because
It
the
is, yeah.
simplest, the simplest ideas are the best ideas.
Yep.
Just be yourself, man.
Yep.
Like, I mean, look, every religion in the world, no matter what it is, has a version of do unto others, as you would want them to do unto you. Like, be the golden rule, man.
Yeah.
No matter what you might think of how the universe is born, or how many deities you've got, or how many gods you have, every religion is like, be a good person because you want them to be a good person to you.
Yeah, it's
It's a simple idea, man.
Yeah, I remember after I said, I was watching
Be
something
yourself.
and I said I was watching something and I'm like, man, I wish I if I was put in that situation I'd do this. I'm like, no, you're not in that position. Just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as I said that, I listened to that song by Audioslave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of put it in perspective and I was like, yeah, that's true. That's all you can do is be yourself.
Song title for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a simple idea. The simplest ideas are the best ideas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Be yourself.
Just,
Always.
There's the title of the show.
Yep.
Title of today's episode.
Be yourself.
Just be yourself. Overall, though, how was your week?
It's good.
It's a good
The just a bunch of like car repairs.
Yeah, you are
just worked-
swamped.
Yeah, just working.
car
Out. Yeah,
repairs.
just working out. That's about it. I didn't really. That's all I got to. Finished Burning Chrome. No, not Burning Chrome. I finished Two Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I reread that. I have to
It's a
give
good
you.
read.
I have to give you Burning Chrome.
Yeah, I would like to give that a go.
Yeah.
That seems like I haven't read it
finished.
yet.
Yeah, I finished Neuromancer.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
You're just like going through all the tech noir.
Yeah,
Burning through a ton of tech
Yeah,
noir
because
right
Neuromancer is like good because when you read it, you're like, okay, this is kind of where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And when you read it, you're like, man, this is like reading it now, is like, you're like, okay, this is so weird. It's like this is like kind of where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can see,
being a fan of tech noir too, and seeing how all that influences stuff that we love anyway.
yeah, because that's where kind of where cyberpunk started.
Yep.
With William Gibson, and then I have you read Snow Crash?
No,
You got to read Snow Crash.
I'll give that a go as well.
Snow Crash is like early version of like fragmented version of The Matrix.
Really?
It's such a good book. It's written by Neil Stephenson.
Yep.
Yeah, it's his
I
book.
didn't know. I haven't read it. I didn't know it was like a Matrix type.
It's
VR or like
It's such because I
cyber reality.
yeah, it's such a good book. Like I remember, like I didn't get onto it until like my cousin who lives in California. He went to like it was the big book when I went to go visit him in San Francisco. He's like, yeah, this is the big book in the community. Everyone's reading it, like the big sci-fi book, and it's called Snow Crash. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine. So I read it, and I was like, okay, this book is actually really, really good.
pretty rad.
Yeah, I would. It's all about going into the online system and like you're a different person.
Jacking
Yeah,
your head
because
into it and-
it's about this guy. He's a pizza delivery guy during the day, but then when he plugs in, he's an assassin.
Oh, get out of
with
town.
with a samurai sword. It's a really cool story. Yeah,
I feel like I have read this.
Snow Crash. Yeah,
I bet you this was one of those high school reads.
if you haven't read it, I have it. So
It is so familiar. Yeah, he's like a scooter riding pizza delivery guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he has to. Yeah. So and then he has. Neil Stephenson has another book called Anathem, which I still have to read, but that's like how thick is it?
It's probably pretty thick.
I think you could fit 5 of them in that top shelf.
Oh, so it's a fat one.
Yeah, it's a fat book.
Yeah, it's a big fat book.
Yeah, but that's gonna be like
Snow Crash. I'm pretty sure I read it.
yeah, Snow Crash. It means like when you're you put to channel 4 and this cable's not connected.
Yep.
You're
He gets the fuzz on the TV.
yeah.
The birth of the universe.
Yeah, it's such a cool book. It's just like Johnny Mnemonic kind of story, but it's really cool.
I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
Johnny Mnemonic is pretty rad. I love it when you kind of when you go back and read those books that they build. It's almost like seeing a prequel that's already been laid out but not made.
Yeah, that's pretty much what
You
it
know,
is.
it's like it was always on the shelf. I mean, that was the bummer of the actual like Star Wars prequel trilogy. Like not that kind of prequel. It's almost like when you read a book and you get through it, and then somebody tells you, it's like, hey, did you know that so and so or such and such book is a prequel to that book? It was actually like written,
yeah.
like without really knowing, like without anybody really knowing it was a prequel. And they read it like, holy crap, this all just
Yeah, actually, William Gibson
opens up a new
Yeah,
reality.
he actually wrote a treatment for Alien 3.
Yeah, he did, right? Before like the Joss Whedon Fincher debacle.
Yeah, it was. You can actually get it from. I saw it at Chapters. It was $12. I should have got it, but
The actual treatment, huh? Really?
yeah,
That's wild.
it's kind of like there's actually a graphic part of it too, so you can see what the storyline was going to be like.
Man,
But
if that's one of those lost causes.
yeah,
If only.
yeah. There's only Alien 3 is still somewhat of an enjoyable movie
It's enjoyable.
because it just looks. It's such a dark looking movie.
It is completely enjoyable.
Yeah.
If there was no Alien 1 and 2.
Yeah.
If Alien 3 was its own thing, it's just if that was the first Alien movie,
Yeah.
and you had no idea the glory that was Alien and Aliens, it's very enjoyable.
Yeah, it's just its biggest problem is that it's number 3.
It's number 3. It's the Godfather Part 3 of Aliens.
Yeah,
Its biggest problem is
you can't like what do you expect from after Aliens?
God.
Aliens is like
You can't give me what Aliens is and then tell me this is where they ended up.
I think Aliens is like Aliens, T2, The Dark Knight,
Empire Strikes Back,
Godfather 2. Those are like the best sequels of all time, and they are considered some of the greatest movies of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, that's
And you'll never see that again, where a second movie is as good or even better than
it's
the first
gone,
one.
man. It's gone.
Never see that.
You're not gonna do it. I don't care what anybody says. It's hard. Like, I mean, even now when you've got like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or Civil War, but that's not a Captain America. That's Captain America movie.
Yeah, but
that's not a.
but the thing is, like those
Avengers
are
movie.
planned and laid out like years in advance.
Yeah, so was Star Wars. So was Empire Strikes Back.
But Empire Strikes Back was like this. It was the second movie, whereas Civil War was like is part of a whole
thing.
Yeah,
it's part of a whole. It's in the middle.
yeah. So they took their time and they had like unlimited budget and stuff like that. Aliens was just like $16 million. Let's tell me what you can make, and like
You're never gonna get it.
yeah. So like if you showed someone like Civil like. Watching, if you actually, sometimes I just watch someone just watch like this couple. What they watched Aliens, like it's called Aliens Reaction. I just watched someone who they have never seen it, and they watched it and they're like, and you could see the terror on their face.
What year was this made?
Yeah, and
Like, they don't even realize. Like, it doesn't comprehend.
Yeah, and they're like, they're white knuckle. They're holding on to each other. Like, and at the end, they're like, why don't they make movies like this anymore?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just man.
It's incredible. Yeah, because like,
Studio interference. First and foremost, everybody wants a big budget, like blockbuster, multi-billion, trillion-dollar movie, and they get their hands in there,
Yeah.
and they screw the whole thing up.
yeah, they don't make movies like they used to. Like the movies now are just like not as good as they used to be.
I was reading what's her name's AMA.
And I'll fight anyone who says that.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I'll be right there with you. We'll both have the sun to our back.
Yeah, double punches.
Double punches. You punch, I punch. I will have these wrists taped together.
Yeah.
We'll like double.
Oh,
punch
no, yeah,
and-
I'll just double punch in one kick.
double punch and kick. Swing your arms and kick your legs.
Yeah.
Victoria Alonso, who was like the I think she's like the senior creative at Marvel Studios, and she was talking about like on her AMA, and you could almost it bummed me out to read it when I read it because it was so bland, and you're like, well, this is you're bland because you're part of a collective.
Yeah.
You're not bland because you can't give me any information. You're bland because you're part of a collective, and without the rest of your big brain, you can't give me a creative answer. Because all the questions were like, hey, so like when you were in, because she starts her AMA with like, hi, I'm Victoria Alonso. I've been involved since Iron Man all the way down to Endgame. This is me. I've been here for the whole thing. I had my hands in all of it. And that means like she's had her hands in with Kevin Feige, and she's had her hands in with like Avi Arad at some points. Like all these people she's worked with. And all the questions were like, so if there was a creative choice you could have made on this movie, like in movie A, would it have been this? Would it have been that? Were you hurt when they did this? And hers was like, well, a movie is what a movie is. Like all the answers were so bland. I'm like, oh, you're studio.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't tell me. The questions were like out of all the movies you've worked on, from Iron Man down to Endgame or whatever it was, even before that, down to here. What moment did you feel like you got your hands in that was like a you moment? You're like, I'm glad that made it to the screen.
Yeah.
And her was like, that would be like asking who my favorite kid is. Can't tell you, but they're all great. It's like, why are you even doing and asking anything?
Yeah, someone should have thrown out the window.
Yeah, like why are you even doing it? Like I get that you can't, but the problem here is that you guys are a collective and you're afraid to piss somebody off, so you're not giving me an answer, or you can't give me an answer because
they'll say like that. Okay, which one did you the most? It'll be like, you know what? That they consider that the best.
Exactly. And then they're going to burn
someone. And
someone.
then next thing you know, they're like, "Oh, no, you're saying Iron Man 2 was better than than Endgame." And
it's brutal, right? They can't give you a clean answer because they're not allowed to, or like they're again. It's the same idea of a studio getting their hands in it.
Yeah.
Let's not piss people off. Let's just try to make everybody happy.
Yeah, just say if they ask you this, this is the way you're supposed to answer it.
Avoid negative press.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's a real bummer, man.
That's
why.
Answer a question with a question.
And she did a lot of that.
Yeah.
She did a lot of like
like what's your favorite?
There was that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
It's just, a lot of the questions were like, "Hey, so when was there anything left on the cutting room floor that you couldn't put into a movie?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, we pack it with all the stuff that we can. There's deleted scenes for a reason.
Yeah.
What did you like about it? Like, what's your favorite deleted scene?"
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're just a master of misdirection, aren't you?
Like, no, exactly. There's deflection left and right. When people ask me now, like if they say, "What's your favorite Marvel movie?" You know what I say?
Dark Knight.
You
What's
say?
that?
Blade.
Hey, Blade is good, man.
I just say Blade just to piss people off. They're like, "There's no Blade movie." They're like,
There's 3 of them.
"Yeah." I'm like, "You haven't seen Blade?"
You should say Blade Trinity.
Yeah, I think for me, Blade number one. Like Blade number one, okay, doesn't have the special effects are pretty bad, but like, and Steven Dorff comes off as a bratty kid, but like, but just seeing Wesley Snipes just tear through people in that movie is worth it alone.
It's like to be in.
It's a music video with violence. That's basically what it is.
To be within 1 millimeter of Blade's reach is to just be dropped into a blender.
Yeah. You're just, yeah.
It's like if you're close enough to where he can just get his fingernail on you.
Yeah.
You might as well just put your hand in a carburetor.
Oh yeah, like tell me any like that first scene in that club scene.
The blood club.
Yeah, the bloodbath is like, name any Marvel movie that has a better like first scene than that movie.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. He just goes in there and just fucking tears ass.
when he kind of walks in
And he's smiling. He's like, I
Yeah,
can't
he's
wait to
grinning.
get my hands on you guys.
But there's like a feeling that you get when Blade walks into that scene, and you know Wesley Snipes can fight.
Yeah.
And you know it's gonna be a bloody movie, and he's got a sword, and you know who Blade is
Mm-hmm.
right away. Like, oh, this is gonna be murder.
Yeah.
Like this is gonna be like an orgy of blood and music
Yeah,
and orchestrated movements,
Has
choreography.
New Order. It's got like, it's in a club scene, and he just
And it's
and
glorious.
it's just like, it's not just like he fights. He's the sword, the rifle and then his machine gun, who he's like just wipe people down.
Little Mac 10, whatever it was.
Yeah, that little AR, whatever that thing is, and then like, yeah, he just
rifling through people. There's Blade is like an incredible movie. I love Blade. I hate the blood demon thing, like the when Steven Dorff becomes a thing.
Yeah,
but it's a product of its time.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, because the special effects did not hold up.
No, I mean that's all they had.
Yeah.
But when that happened and you were in the theater, like that was glorious CG.
Yeah.
That was like, this is the best computer graphics effects. I mean, it was better than Jurassic Park. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
incredible. But
Yeah.
now it's complete garbage.
Yeah, so now that scene, it's hard to watch, but like, but you can still watch it. But at the same time,
still
it's
watchable.
like but the movie itself is awesome. I love
It's
Blade.
really good.
Yeah.
The darkness of it, the grittiness of it, the backstory.
Yeah, the music, Blade's it's so well directed.
Yeah.
That's Stephen Norton's only good movie. But like, personally speaking, anyway. But like,
Stephen Norton.
yeah. Even what's his face, Chris Christopherson. He's great in that movie.
He is amazing in that movie.
Yeah, and the movie, like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. There are jokes about it, but like, but at the same time, it's like, man, just Blade he just destroys people
He's
in that movie.
really good.
Yeah.
The even Blade 2, like I really like Blade 2 a lot.
Blade
I'm
2 was
a huge
yeah.
Del Toro fan, so I love Blade 2. I could do without the CGI fight because I mean to me, but that was a showcase what they could do with CGI at the time, and really it's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
for
and-
when it's made, it's pretty great.
And it's got a great song to Most Def and Massive Attack.
Yeah, it's got
Eye Against Eye. Yeah.
incredible
Yeah.
soundtrack.
Yeah, it's
and I mean even the orchestrated stuff. Like when you realize that this is not a movie about a good guy against a bad guy, it's
Yeah.
a movie about a father and a son.
Yeah.
Like when you realize that's what's going on here, like I don't know who to hate anymore.
Yeah, it's
Like I don't know who to cheer for, who to root for.
yeah. Blade 3 was just like it should have been made like right afterwards. So they like it was like they could have attached like someone better to do it, maybe a better
Yeah.
writer, because it was after that it was
Well,
just
David Goyer is a good writer.
he's a good writer, but
He's
same
not a
time-
good director.
Not good director. Yeah.
Yeah, he just I don't know. It felt like Blade for TV.
Yeah. David Goyer is like amazing writer.
It was a Blade for TV movie.
Yeah, Blade for TV.
It was a Blade for
Wasn't there another? Who was the Blade? Who's Blade after Wesley Snipes?
Onyx.
Onyx was. Yeah.
Onyx.
Yeah.
No, Sticky Fingers from Onyx. Sticky
Fingers,
Fingers.
yeah.
He was in Onyx.
Yeah.
And you know what? Not a bad Blade.
Yeah, but
He wasn't terrible.
The new Blade should be. They got a good guy to play it.
Yeah, Mahershala Ali, he's
Yeah.
really good. I think he's too old though. They went too deep into the age roster.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah, he's too old. They should have got it because black don't crack. You get a black guy who's 22 years old. He could play Blade for the next 45 years.
Who could play Blade?
But Mahershala Ali, I just feel like he's already what's his name? Was it Copperhead in Luke Cage?
Mm-hmm.
And he was phenomenal. He was one of the best Marvel villains. He was incredible in that series. So I already connect him to that. So I don't like him as Blade. I think he's maybe a little bit too old.
So who would be a good Blade?
Dude, they got this kid right now in Black Lightning. The kid who plays Khalil.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't screw him up and get him into that kid could have played Blade.
Because Wesley Snipes was the perfect Blade. Yeah.
That kid does some fights in this last season that are Blade level fights. I don't know, but he walked away for whatever the summer break was, and he did the thing like what's his name, Tom Hardy. Yeah, I'll come back, but I get all the martial arts lessons I want.
Yeah.
And this kid just knocked it out of the park. They're giving him his own series now.
Oh really?
He was so good in that last season.
What do you? Yeah, because I'm trying to think of a character like an actor who can play a badass.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Because Blade has to be a dark badass.
I'll pop some stuff up later on. He
Yeah.
could have done it.
Yeah.
He could have really done it.
Yeah, and how old is he?
And I would imagine he's 23, 24.
23? Yeah, because
He's a tank. He's fast. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody told me it's like, well, we base all of this stuff on Blade. Like, oh, I get it. I totally get it.
Actually, one football player who I thought could be who could be Blade?
Deion Sanders.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. Oh, good call.
Yeah.
He's got the square head.
He's got
the shoulders.
Yeah, and he looks like
the look.
Yeah, he looks like a badass. And he imagine that guy doing all this stunt. Like, oh man.
Well, I mean, he's athletic.
Have you seen him run?
Yeah, he's athletic.
God, he's like an Olympic athlete.
Yeah. He's got that predator, wily kind of like his body moves in ways that he could pull it off.
Yeah, but I was watching some highlights of him like last night.
I mean, predator as in Blade is a predator.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
like dreads and
stuff like that. Yeah,
no.
He does have the dreads, but
he does. But I wasn't thinking more along the lines of like predator.
Yeah,
he's like a panther.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was watching highlights of him yesterday, and I was showing his track meets and stuff like that. His 400s and his 100s. That guy's a
legit athlete.
Yeah, even NFL players were like when he gets the ball, when he starts going, he's like, there is no one who's going to stop him.
No.
Yeah, I love that guy. Tyreek Hill, that guy's a boss.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill.
I know he has some problems right now, but that's
not for me to judge.
Yeah,
that's not for me to judge anymore. Everybody's got problems.
Yeah.
I put those in a different pile. There are people out there who have like legitimate bad guy habits. Oh, thank you. Who have legitimate bad guy habits. You're like, okay, that guy's got problems.
Yeah.
And then there are people out there who are like, I don't know. I can see why he did what he did. I understand why he.
Yeah, I don't get it, but
I don't get it, but
I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it, and I would never do it. But I'm sympathetic.
I'm glad you did I'm glad you did it, and I didn't do it. But
yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
I'm honest to God, this is the unpopular opinion with a lot of people. But who was it who kind of broke down why Michael Vick had the dogfighting ring? Where he's like, you're like, uh-huh.
Yeah. That pissed me off.
It pissed me off, man. Like, I don't get it at all. I don't understand why you would want to make like animals fight each other for money, like the cockfighting, the dog fighting.
Yeah, the pit bulls and
stuff. Like that's some like pretty aggro shit to be doing. But somebody broke it down with like you don't understand like where the way he was raised. You don't understand the mentality that like there was almost like a weird kind of like taking back of power.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I was trying to like relate that. This is a while ago I was talking about that. I was trying to relate that to the idea of why black people don't like the German Shepherds. The whole thing with Muhammad Ali and George Foreman when he came off the plane with the German Shepherds. They're like Nazi, like right away. They're like, we don't like that guy.
Yeah,
it's like everything I do for the black community like doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those dogs we don't like. And then like certain things that happen dog fighting, like where their whole mentality was. And it's like, oh, I think I can sympathize with why he would do what he did. Like, I would never do it, and I would want you in jail, and I would take all your animals away, and I'd give them a nice home, and I'd set you on fire, but somebody made me see it for half a second where your head might have been at.
Yeah, that's the thing. I understood where his head was at.
Yeah.
I don't, and I completely disagree with what he did, and I think
100%.
I think he should burn in hell for that.
Absolutely.
And,
but when it gets explained to a certain way.
Yeah, because people are just products of their environment. And that's and then when you feel like, okay, I have no money, so like we were back in the day we did this, right? But now I have money, I can do this on a larger scale.
Yeah.
And so
that which is gross.
But that shows lack of growth.
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
You're like, okay, no, you leave that life behind.
Yeah, I don't think it was like anything you can sympathize with and be like, well, he's what he did. Like,
No, yeah,
let him fight
that's
dogs.
the thing. Yeah, when you talk, if I had a chance to talk to him about that, and he'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, you don't understand how I was. I'm like, I don't give a fuck how you were raised.
Yeah, I don't care. But
Yeah.
for a split second there, like you can almost like see why it's happening.
Yeah, that I agree with.
Yeah.
You could be like, he goes, yeah, I'm not surprised you did this.
I'm not surprised. That's what it is.
So,
I'm not surprised. you did
but
it.
you're a disgusting human being, and
Yeah.
if I had a chance to send you to hell, I would do it. I would do it right now.
Yeah, can I light a match and
Yeah.
send you there?
Yeah, exactly. I'd turn
Yeah.
your head into a donut, and I'd send you to hell like Homer Simpson.
Who was it? Was it James Coco?
Yeah.
I don't understand. James Coco crashed after 15.
Oh, but it was so yum and tasty.
Poor guy. Yeah, it's weird, right? How you can all of a sudden like sympathize with somebody. Messed up. But yeah, as far as Blade goes, that is an excellent movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the simplest way to sympathize with someone is to try and understand like they're probably going through a battle.
Yeah, like everybody's got a demon, right?
Yeah, everyone has it. So
Everybody's got something going on.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard. Like I think for us, especially when it comes to like media personalities, famous people with money who do like really bizarre shit. I don't mean like the Epstein shit. Like fuck that guy. Like somebody's got money and has like human trafficking
no,
and
that
slaves on the
guy
island.
that guy should have been on the first Death Star.
Yeah, he should have been on the first Death Star, in the window watching the cannons fire into an exhaust pipe.
Yeah, I wish she was the technician in the exhaust pipe, and
Yes.
then he saw the torpedoes go down. And he's like,
He should have been the Wilhelm scream.
yeah, he should have been the Wilhelm scream.
He should
yeah.
have been the Wilhelm scream. Like, but at the same time, I think we're obsessed as a generalization. People who follow like the Kardashians and famous people and whatever are obsessed with like, let's get them as famous as possible and then wag our finger at them for all the things they do.
But yeah, that ties into the whole thing about everyone will build a hero up just to tear them down.
Yes.
That feeds into everything.
Yeah. That's not like what we say about the, die the hero or live long enough to.
No,
be the villain.
that's
totally different.
Yeah.
That is a personal journey somebody will go through.
That is something one person will go through.
Yes.
And,
this is like society.
Society as a
will
whole.
lift somebody up.
Yeah, they do it to everybody.
Everybody. I mean, a great example, and it was like in the written form is or in screen is the whole thing on Game of Thrones with the Cersei thing.
Yeah, there you
where
go.
all of a sudden she's like, "I'm the God Queen, Cersei," and she gets the guy, the religious dude, and brings him up, and then she makes everybody's life better. She brings them religion, and then she fails in their eyes, and they run her naked to the streets and throw tomatoes at her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that's like a simplistic TV version, but that's what society likes to do with
yeah,
our
man,
heroes.
they did the same thing to Michael Jordan.
Same thing to Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan got it bad.
Same thing to Michael Jackson.
Yep. Oh yeah, man.
What terrible are like our celebrities.
Yeah.
We're really bad to our
yeah,
celebrities.
there's certain people who are just so they're so beloved, and they're generational people, and
Michael Jordan just grew a mustache.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
But people will people will always look to flaws because like they'll realize that this person's so awesome, like they have to have flaws, but they'll look for them when they're not there, and then they'll just make them up if they have to.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's a truth, right? Where people will, once somebody becomes so famous and so popular and beloved, you're like, okay, let's look for the cracks.
Exactly. It doesn't have to
There's
like
gotta be
it doesn't happen to like a lot of like famous people, but it does happen to it. Somehow it only happens to famous people.
Well, yeah, right. It doesn't happen to a lot of famous people, but it only happens to famous people.
Yeah, like there's certain, like even like yeah, because like certain sports stars who are really popular, yeah, they'll get built up to be torn down.
Oh, for sure, right?
Yeah. And then like, like it's Jordan was like you saw it firsthand. It was ugly what happened to him.
What exactly are you talking about?
Have you seen the
The Last
documentary?
Dance?
Yeah,
Not yet.
it's basically so like
We're talking about the gambling, we're talking about the year off, we're talking about
they
baseball.
They took like everything that all of his like things that he liked to do for like just to get away from basketball.
Yeah.
They would say like, oh, you're doing this. That means that means this, right? And so this is before like Twitter, Facebook, all that shit. And then he would just say, no, he goes, that's not. He goes, if I had a gambling problem, I'd be like hawking my my wedding ring and stuff like that. He goes, I'm not doing that. He's like, I'm just. But then like the paparazzi would be like,
They
what are you
were
doing?
all over
Yeah,
him.
like is your dad doing this? Like he knows that you're all this stuff, right? And then. It almost drove him out of the league, and then Magic Johnson would have to say like, go about and say, goes, you people are gonna drive him out of this league.
Yeah. That was the weird year off. You mean?
Yeah,
like when he kind of disappeared for a little bit.
Oh, also
then the father thing.
Yeah, and also like his like he liked to gamble a lot.
Yeah.
It's like just because he gambles and he's gambling $10,000 bets and stuff like that, right? Like You have to realize his $10,000 is your $1.
It's like $10, man.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, him losing 10,000. You're right. It's like you like putting $1 on a pool game with your friends. Bet you $1 you make next shot.
And look what he's done for the sport. Like he gave everything. He gave physically and emotionally everything to the game.
In The Last Dance, obviously it's more like hero worship than it is a deep dive into somebody's psyche. But do they go into the whole like he took the year into baseball because he was on suspension from the gambling? Did they talk about that?
There was no real suspension from gambling.
Yeah.
They talk
we know that.
Yeah, they deep dive into everything.
Because like, that the conspiracy theory is that Michael Jordan went and played baseball for a year or retired for a year because he was suspended because he was gambling on games.
Yeah, that's in the documentary, he after he won his third championship, he's like, what else do I need to prove?
Yeah.
And then he came back. Then all of a sudden, he saw the team was dying without him, basically, right? And then he starts coming to games. He started coming to practice, and then he's like, "I miss this.
I'm back."
Yeah. Then he came back and won. Then he came back
because how old is he when he left? Third championship.
He came. He missed. He came back and he won in '93. Mm-hmm. The '93 season, he won. The '94, '95 when he came back, he was. He had a baseball body, so he wasn't that good.
He had a weird belly.
Yeah, and then because he even said it. He goes, then he went to the gym and he got ripped. And then the next year after that, that's when they set the record for a 72-10.
Yeah. No, but how old was he then?
I don't know.
When he took his year off and went into baseball. I mean, he like 32, 31.
Maybe that. Yeah.
Yeah, he couldn't have been that old.
Yeah, but then he came back and then he dominated three more championships.
You can't even comprehend. Like, I think normal human beings can't even understand, like, how we should just, like, us outside of, like, smacking your wife in the mouth, dog fighting, or killing somebody who didn't have it coming. Let them do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, we should just, you're putting an incredible amount of stress on these people. And this is something that I think justifies the amount of money they get paid. When you talk about, athletes are getting paid millions of dollars to play a game.
I haven't thought on that too, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in my mind, I'm like, look, to be that elite level of an athlete, to be able to do the things they do, like for half a second, let's get Joe Schmo and let's get Michael Jordan. Joe Schmo who talks shit and maybe played a little bit of high school basketball. Then you get Michael friggin' Jordan. And just be like, okay, you guys both stand here and just start shooting baskets and let's see who can do what. And then let's play horse, and let's do this, and do dunks, and do whatever. And, like, watch Joe Schmo's back give out after, like, the third time he takes a regular shot or tries to do a layup. And Michael Jordan just doing Statue of Liberties.
Yeah.
And friggin' legs like an icon slam. Doing whatever. And then, maybe, like, doing his taxes while he's friggin' thinking about all sorts of shit that he's doing while he's doing that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do what he does. No. You can't even put yourself in the headspace.
No one wants to watch Joe. The seats are going to be filled with Joe Schmo.
The seats are going to be filled. But the reason Joe Schmo is not there is because mentally he can't get himself to where Michael Jordan is.
No.
Even after all the training and practice and preparation and all the shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give him a year. He still won't get to where he is because Michael Jordan is elite, so he is paid like an elite athlete.
Yeah. My whole thing on the amount that let's say basketball. Let's just put we'll use basketball as an example. The reason why I think they should be paid as much as they do, is because money salaries in the NBA are based on percentages. Okay, so let's say if the league was worth I don't know, like say it's worth like $10 billion or something like that, right? Now you should be able to earn your percentages no matter what. Let's say you should be able to get like, okay, let's say your team receives like let's see out of 100% of what your team receives, you're going to get that amount of money. It's split up between, so you get, let's say Michael Jordan gets like 30%, Scottie Pippen gets 20%, then the rest of 50% is delegated to the rest of the players.
Yeah.
The problem is that there's so much money there. His 30% is $30 million per year.
It's a lot
because there's just so much money there. So if it was worth half that, he'd be getting paid half that. But the thing is, like, there is so much money in there, you are owed your percentage.
Yeah, and you're paying into it as a fan. You're giving them the money. Yes. Now, also, they've got managers, they've got agents, they've got publicists.
Yeah,
they've got people cleaning up their shit. all the time.
Yeah, the more money you make, there's going to be more of those people around you.
There's going to be more of those people around you, and you want people of a certain quality who can take care of you and not rip you off. So you have to give them a little extra.
Yeah, you're owed how much money is in the league.
Exactly.
So like if the league is like that's don't blame the player. Like the league has this much money. Like if the league got that much money, they're only getting paid $100,000 a year. Then you'd be mad at the league.
Exactly.
Because you're like, okay, you're just keeping all the money and you're not delegating it. It's like a corrupt government basically, right?
Well, which is like college
basketball,
like the NCAA.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I mean, no one gives a shit about the coaching.
Football, basketball, like these guys, they're getting concussed and messed up and broken backs and like short lives because you want to watch them and they're not getting paid.
Yeah, college basketball is almost as fun to watch as NBA.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But free education.
Yeah.
Like, it is a free education. I mean, come on, pay these guys. I mean, even the ones who don't go off and get like NBA careers, they're still as entertaining as NBA players.
Yeah, and the guys who sell the jerseys in at the colleges, the people who sell the jerseys make more than the people whose names are on the jerseys. Yeah.
It's gross. Yeah. So gross. No, but I just like that. That's one of those things that bothers me about like when people talk about elite athletes and how much they get paid and like build them up, tear them down, all that stuff. Like there's a reason they're elite is because like mentally they can handle that kind of shit.
Yeah.
It's like there's a different type of person, and the ones who don't, we see. Like who's the little quarterback kid there, the one who went nowhere, Johnny Football. That dude a few years ago who came out of nowhere and like he's the next like mainstream.
You mean the
Jewish kid?
Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He's Manziel. Yeah. Is he Jewish? I think he's Jewish, right?
I think he is. Yeah.
Anyway, he comes out and he's like, he's gonna be the next big deal, but mentally he couldn't handle it, and now he's Joe Schmo. Like he's just some dude out there.
Yeah.
I think you thought I was gonna go to the dude who prays before every game, Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow.
Tim Tebow, who went and played baseball and couldn't hack that either.
Now he's an analyst.
I mean, obviously there's something there that he couldn't mentally handle the game for whatever reason. It broke him down.
Yeah.
He couldn't get himself in there, and maybe he could, maybe he couldn't, and maybe he's an exceptional analyst. Maybe he's top tier level analyst, and that's where he's at. Maybe he's an elite level analyst because that's what he can do really well.
Yeah. Yeah, he understood the game more than he could play the game.
Exactly. He understood it more than he could play it, but he's better than you at understanding the game.
Yeah.
So, even complaining about that is bullshit.
Yeah. So, when people say, like, oh, NBA players get paid too much, I'm like, no, the argument should be, like, there's too much money in sports.
Yes.
Say that.
Yes. And who's putting the money in the sports?
Exactly. You are.
Dummy.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
You like watching your 45 games every Sunday? Yeah, it's you.
So that's the argument you should make, not that the athletes get paid too much. Like, that's why, like, that there's sport, like, tennis is a good example of it. Like you get paid like as much as you win. So like you go to a tournament, the tournament has this much money, and if you make it to a certain round, you get this third round. You get this much money. If you make it to the fourth round, you make this much money. If you get to semifinals, quarterfinals, you get paid this much money. So like that's now you could argue that should there be more money put into the sport because like so should females get paid as much as males, whatever it is, right? So yeah, you can have those arguments, right? But those set rules are good for tennis because because if you want to earn more, you play better and you enter more tournaments and you win.
Yeah, great example.
That's how you do. You
play more.
Yeah, you don't just like it's like baseball where you just like you make a baseball team, you get paid like $2 million a year to sit on your ass. So
hey, I'm not gonna hear no shit about baseball. Friggin' love baseball. I'm not gonna hear anybody talk shit about baseball.
But do you see the difference?
I do see the difference.
Yeah,
it is an extreme difference from tennis to baseball.
Yeah,
because the truth is, like when you're playing baseball, like 90% of it, you're sitting around.
Yeah, but think about this though. Like, but there's also a lot of money in baseball.
There's a lot.
So like, yeah, they get paid whatever the percentages are.
Yep, it's the same difference, right? I mean, he's getting a $200 million contract because there's a lot more money in baseball. There's a lot more people watching those games. It's a big difference.
Yeah, and plus, like NBA is a different sport than football because NBA is a star-driven sport.
Yes.
Whereas like the players control everything, whereas football is an owner-driven sport.
It's an owner-driven sport, and it's like football doesn't like people can like a certain football player, but people generally watch football the same way you. It's weird, right? It's like the way you watch a card of fights.
Yeah.
It's like you've got this guy fighting that guy, and that guy's like, who do you like? Who do you like for this? Who do you like for that? It's like whereas baseball or basketball and hockey, they're very much like this is my guy, that is my team, die hard all the way.
Yeah,
this is what we do. And football has that aspect, but it's got maybe because of the gambling, or maybe because like it's kind of overtaken a lot of the sport. But there's so much more of like watching a fight on a Saturday night, like Sunday and Monday and Thursday football is like who do you like for what? Who are we going to bet on? I'm going to bet on that and that and this.
Yeah,
and that,
that's
and
true.
this.
Yeah,
It doesn't quite have that.
it's weird because like
It's strange.
Yeah,
to
when
me.
you watch, because there's only certain many games that are played in football, right?
Yeah.
Because like they don't have like a long schedule, right? Because if you play, let's say there was 82 games in a football season, there'd be like coffins filled with like
Oh yeah,
players,
no,
right?
no, never going to happen.
Yeah, so like
It's what 15 games?
Yeah, so the games are more important because like there's so few of them. But if you look at like in the NBA, like this is just me personally, right? Like regular season NBA games are not fun to watch because there's 82 of them. Like when you get to the playoffs, then I'll start watching them, right? But regular season, you know who's going to end up being in the playoffs. You know this person's going to be 8th seed. You're going to be like, okay, you know what's going to happen, right? So that's what I don't like.
I agree. Being a baseball guy, I totally agree.
Yeah, so that's what I don't like about hockey, about baseball. Sorry, basketball, but like at hockey, no matter what, if your team is playing, you watch it.
You watch.
Yeah.
You're diehard your team.
Yeah, this is because I'll like if a hockey game is on and like if we're together or something like that with my family or something, like I'll sit down and watch the game for sure because it's fast paced, it's violent, there's so much skill involved. It's got everything. Yeah.
It's like watching like races.
Yeah.
It's like watching a race.
No.
More than it's like watching an actual sport of like human beings doing human being shit. It's like you're watching this like these hard driven vehicles flying around an oval.
Yeah.
And they're just chasing the stupid little rubber puck.
Yeah. And Bill Burr said it best about when he was you see when he was being interviewed with Wayne Gretzky?
No.
It's unbelievable because I think the guy who was interviewing them, he's like an American.
Oh, yeah, this a few years ago.
Yeah,
like
I think it was the gray-haired guy with the blue eyes.
Yeah.
He's saying like, what can hockey do to get over that hump? And then he's talking to Gretzky. He's like, what they have the NFL, the NBA. What can the NHL do to get over that hump? And then Bill Burr just goes in there and he's like, you know what? There's nothing that NHL doesn't have to do anything.
Nothing, man.
He goes, you don't want it to be like the NFL where like at the halftime there's like there's
streamers and cheerleaders
and all that stuff.
And
He goes,
band.
no. He goes, the NHL is the best. He goes, you don't want to turn to $1 billion. He goes, all these people are just making millions of dollars. They're not making billions of dollars.
Yeah, no.
And he said the best thing about hockey is that if a guy does something to you and you don't like it, you can beat the shit out of that guy.
You can grab him by the jersey and just start firing into his face.
Yeah, he goes, there's real justice in hockey.
Yeah, it's true.
And Wayne Gretzky's laughing his ass off.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That was like it was like not Cowherd, but it was like one of those guys during
Colin Hurt? No.
Cowherd?
I'm not sure what his name. Yeah,
it was one of those like sit down.
Yeah.
Like it was the guy who's still off the record on TSN. Like they're sitting down
Yeah.
in a real studio.
Yeah,
having chit chat.
Yeah, so he said like Bill.
He's
Burr
right
just,
though.
Yeah, Bill Burr just shut that guy down. He's like, there's nothing you have to do to NHL.
You don't need to pretty up the NHL. The NHL is exactly what it is, and nobody wants it prettied up.
NHL is like, for lack of a better term, it's like it's perfect. Like
yeah, I mean the presentation of the NHL. Yeah, you're right. For lack of a better term, the presentation in the NHL is just about as perfect as you can get for any sport.
Yeah, it's like it's got the violence, it's got the it's got the people who are in the NHL now are just so fun to watch, and yeah, and it's
a wild scene, man.
Yeah, and if something does, if someone pisses you off, yeah, you can fight them.
Well, it's like I mean we talked about it. Hey, look, another callback, a natural callback, the Marty McSorley thing.
Yeah,
I mean he was pissed off about something and he ended Donald Brashear's career.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like that's an extreme version of it. Almost killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, you think he had like a grade 14 concussion? Like he was out.
Yeah, and he landed on his head.
Oh, it was brutal because he slashed him right in the side of the head.
Yeah, he chopped. Yeah, he did. Like he looked like he was trying to decapitate him,
trying to take his head off.
Yeah,
and he just goes straight down and he's out.
Yeah,
and it's like you're not going to get that in basketball. I mean, granted, it was like major suspensions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But were McSorley, say, 23 instead of like in his 30s, and he'd done that, he'd have been gone for a couple of years, come back and played again.
Yeah, because he's too valuable to the league.
He's too valuable to the league, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like there's no other sport where that's going to take.
No, because even basketball now, is so like the athletes are better and stuff like that, but it's lost. It's you can't.
What was the fight? The big fight. The
Malice at the Palace.
The Malice at the Palace.
That was the greatest thing. That was the greatest thing in basketball history.
You're never going to see that again. You're never going to see like an Undertaker sit up on a table, go into the crowd to beat the shit out of. Like you're never going to.
And he got the wrong guy too. Can you imagine that?
You're never going to see.
Can you imagine that? You're just like sitting there. You're sitting with your drink, and then like all of a sudden, Ron Artest rises up like the Undertaker and starts charging up at you. You're like, what did I do? And he just smashes you right in the face. 6'8", 270 pounds of just
just having a beer.
Just having a beer.
He got murdered.
Yeah. And then what did Nova say? He's like, it was, oh, you want that guy to come up there? Well, he went up there.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I know. He went up there and he fucking.
Oh my God.
He just laid people
You
out.
want
Man.
to come up there while he's like Sauron, just swinging his gigantic arms, taking everybody out.
Oh yeah, exactly. It was just like haymakers. There was no like, but like getting hit by Ron Artest, like you'd be out. You'd be in the hospital.
Well, I mean, he's swinging an arm the size of you.
Yeah.
I mean, people
This is
don't.
Ron Artest in his prime. Like,
in his prime.
Yeah.
Like when his arms were like the size.
Super cut. Like
super cut.
He was guarding guys who were bigger than him, and he was like way stronger.
Way stronger.
Yeah.
And he's not a small guy to begin with.
No, and he was known as a guy like you don't fuck with that guy.
You don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
And I mean, now he's in the crowd and like it's Sauron swinging a Warhammer.
Yeah, exactly. He's tossing bodies left and right.
God.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ. Yeah,
you'll never get that
yeah.
again.
The guy's like, because what did Clover say? He's like, yeah, come up here, man. What are you going to do? Come up there. Well, he went up there.
Well, he went up there. He said, come up here. And well, he went up there.
Yeah, and they just like, he just destroyed people. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck. He would have fought Ben Wallace. He's like,
He was so fired up.
Yeah, Ben Wallace was like 7 feet tall. He would Ben Artest would have just run after him and would have knocked him out.
Oh, my God.
I wouldn't fuck if Ron Artest came after me like that, I would run.
Yeah, you get out of the way.
And I think the guy was saying to me, it wasn't me. Ron Artest didn't care.
Well, no, I think you're right. Like he's up there, and I think he's just like he's got a drink in his hand or something, and he's looking at him like, "What's going on? I don't know what's going on."
We have to
And it's
watch
just
that after this.
Drink gone and
Yeah, beer gone. That was the least of his worries. The guy just got he almost got his head taken off.
oh my God. I love violence in sports.
I love it. It's awesome.
It is,
Bench clearing brawls. I love them.
bench clearing brawls, hockey fights when things go bad in football.
I love it.
Like when all of a sudden,
I love all that shit. Yeah.
It's so good. I know we're not supposed to. Like that is the guilty pleasure. But like if you don't love it, well, that's
okay. If you don't
un-American.
get anything from it, you're soulless. Like,
You're soulless, man. You're
Because
totally soulless.
Not everything has to go right all the time. Like when it goes
No.
askew, you're like, okay.
I don't want to see people lose a career or get so hurt.
But sometimes like you love because remember like when last year when the Oilers played the Calgary Flames and it was just that massive in the goalie
Glorious.
spot.
It was glorious.
Everyone said that was the best moment of the season.
The best part is Mike Smith comes kind of gliding up, just hanging out.
Yeah.
And then he kind of catches Cam Talbot's eye.
Yeah, and I remember, and the guy, one of the Oilers said to Cam Talbot, he's like, yeah, he's waiting for you over there. He's like, go over there and get him.
Yeah. And then he's kind of, well, you think it's going to be like a buddy thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I bet you think he didn't want to go. And the guy's like, and then the Oiler guy, one of the Oilers was like, go to
him.
Go to the center.
Go get your lunch money.
Yeah, and then he went up there, and then Mike
Smith, he's not an easygoing dude.
No, he took him down like in 2 seconds.
Oh, I felt so bad because Talbot was our boy, right?
Yeah, and he stopped.
Yeah, it wasn't a ground and pound massacre.
No, yeah,
it was.
He got him on the ground and he stopped, and
Yeah.
So I think because those guys are friends, they know each other.
No, I mean it is what it is, right? They had to do it. Mm-hmm. They went out there and they did it.
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what would happen if me and you went. I'd be like Cam Talbot.
No.
I think you would get me down there. You'd stop and be like, "That's it."
I think you'd have that moment. You would Mr. Miyagi me. Live or die. Like, all right.
I bet you anything. While I'm skating towards you, I'm like this. I'm like,
hey, here we go. It's go time.
you're like, what's that for? I just want to heal my wound after you.
I have a feeling you are an eye poker, biter, fish hooker. You are all the rules they didn't allow at UFC 1. that's your playbook.
My playbook is getting a hold of a person.
Yep.
And
dragging them into deep waters.
Yeah, getting a hold of them and keep them in the hold until they give up. Yeah.
Just hang on to them.
Yeah, because I have good my grappling is good. I can grapple with people because I grew up with an older brother.
Well, he was your bear and you were Khabib.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, he was. The thing is, like, we'd always fight each other, but like he would hold back against me because he knew he was a little bit stronger than I was.
Mm-hmm.
But then as I got older, especially during elementary, I think I told you this, but like after that, I'm like I could beat up anyone in my class. I'll be like anyone in my grade. Anyone says anything to me, I'm like my brother's way bigger than you. I'm like I can destroy you in a fight. And I would tell him that. I'll be like I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? I said, do you know how to fight?
Do you know how to chuck knucks?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know how to throw down?
Yeah, I'm like, do you know how to fight? I'm like, I fought my brother. I'm like, I have scars to prove it. And I'm like,
is that from your brother?
Oh yeah.
Oh, get out of town. Because you have a pretty
pretty
legit.
Yeah, this is one of my war rooms.
Great lineup there.
It was kind of embarrassing. You know what happened?
Huh?
Okay.
Well, I don't. So I'm
Well,
asking.
for the video, for people who can see, I have a mark on my forehead like this. So what happened was that we were it was just during Christmas. We were in their basement, and we were those. Remember San Francisco, that store? You could buy like all
I
those
do.
trinkets. Like it was at West.
It was a novelty store.
It was a novelty store, yeah. So remember, you could get those big boxing gloves.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that are the size of your head.
Yep.
So we had those.
They're like the puffy ones that you
yeah.
just,
So
like,
so
smash
my
together.
mom had like she bought a pair, and so I put one on my right hand. My brother put one on his left hand, and we were fighting. And then my brother was like, okay, he's like over there, and I'm over here. So then he punched me in the face, but he got me really good. So he gave me a haymaker, and I was like, and I was like, oh shit! And I was like, what? And I said like, what the hell? Then I ran towards him, and he didn't do anything. He just moved out of the way.
Oh no!
And see where the wall comes to like a point?
Yeah.
Like that?
Just a corner of a wall.
Yeah, and I ran into it, and that caused the split.
Oh, so it was like just a nifty little compression
Yeah,
cut
and
right there.
right there, and then there was just blood coming from everywhere. Then
How old were you?
must have been like
Please say 19.
no, I was probably 7.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
And 7 or 8, and then my it was in the basement. My dad came downstairs, and I was like just I was in shock. I was like, there's so much blood coming out because it was just coming out. Like,
oh yeah.
and like a
Well,
torrent.
forehead that's a good one.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of action going on up there.
Yeah. So then my dad's like, oh god. Then my mom came downstairs, and she's like, oh, just calm down. It's okay. And I'm like, that the blood was freaking me out.
Oh, for sure.
And then
you're 7 years old.
Yeah.
Man.
So then I'm like, it was cut open. Then my mom goes, does it hurt? And then my mom goes, then she grabbed my face and she goes, does it hurt? And I said, no. And she's like, you're okay.
Yeah.
And then my dad comes there. He had what's it called? Aquavelva.
So now you associate the smell of Aquavelva Blue,
Yeah, to childish
the
nightmare.
gushing head wound.
Yeah. So like he just like
Childish nightmare.
yeah, he just went like this, like just,
Oh, for sure.
And then
That
I'm like that hurts.
Mom, it hurts.
Yeah. So then I had to like
grow up.
Yeah. So I start screaming, and then my dad's like, he's like, don't move. I'm like, why? He's like, you're getting blood all everywhere, right? I'm like, there's no carpet in the basement.
I love
That was my
first
argument.
reaction.
Yeah, I was like, there's no carpet in the
There's
basement.
no carpet in the basement.
And
Dad.
then finally, and it was at nighttime, so I had to go to the doctor's house,
Oh no.
and then I had to get stitches done.
Oh, so you did get stitches.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, man. I've been
Oh, that's
yeah.
a good one.
And then then I was like, then my mom goes to my brother. He's like, "Do you have anything to say?" Then he goes, "No," because I didn't do anything.
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was like Johnny from Karate Kid.
Yeah.
And I said to him like, and Paul, then afterwards, like we were laughing about it. Paul's like, "Yeah, I was just being Johnny." I was like, I started laughing. I'm like, that's exactly what it is.
He didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He just moved out of the way.
Yeah.
You faced
I'm
that
disclosing a
wall
lot of
around.
personal like stories here.
Yeah, today was a deep dive.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good chit chat about all sorts.
I
of
love the scar.
the scar is good.
I like it.
Scars are chicks see scars.
Yeah.
Chicks they see scars and they dig them.
This beautiful face has to have
It's gotta have some kind of damage to it.
some kind of damage to it.
Yeah, the Dorian Gray poster in the attic. It's all beat up.
All beat up.
It's got a fat lip.
Exactly.
It's got
What-
6 black eyes.
One eye's pointing that way. One eye's pointing that way.
He's a nightmare. That one.
Yeah.
I got lucky. I don't have a lot of scars. I got lucky in my bouncing career that I don't have a lot of scars on my face.
Yeah.
Or hand. I have a lot on my wrists. I have a lot on the palms of my hands. Like
I just have like
I got a ton because that's what you use a lot of, right?
Yeah, but you have like physical damage, right? Like when it comes to like your nose.
Oh yeah, I mean
Yeah.
this goes from one side to the other.
Yeah.
It's all messed up. I've been hit in the back of the head by everything. So I mean, if you look at the back of my head, it's got a lot of scar tissue back there,
Yeah.
and just gashes and whatnot.
Yeah. I just have 2 broken fingers, but permanently broken.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Sorry.
That'll happen.
Sorry. This one is broken.
That one there.
Yeah, and then that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, all of these have been moved around.
Yeah, and I have like some scarring from here because I land on my face doing like BMX tricks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But,
that kind of stuff.
but those are minor. They
Those
mean
are little
nothing.
things. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky for the most part. I don't have like tons and tons. My arms are a nightmare. My legs are just awful.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wear.
That's
short
from
shorts.
training. Is that from training though?
Yeah, from training.
Oh,
From
yeah, I've seen
fighting,
them. Yeah,
all
I've seen
sorts
your
of stuff. They're pretty gross.
Yeah.
There's like
Not
just.
that not just because we.
I mean, you weren't checking them out.
no, we went
Just,
biking. Yeah.
We went biking and they are ugly. they are knotted and ratted and
No.
full of gashes and cuts and scars and all sorts.
No, I've seen worse from people who are not fighters.
Yeah, there are people out there who have like addiction issues.
Yeah,
Who
I've seen
who have it
pretty
way
bad.
worse.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Who are pretty
afterwards.
bad.
I'll tell you afterwards what one of the worst I saw.
I can imagine.
Yeah, friend of the show too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to disclose a story about a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
Oh, a friend of ours. I think we hit everything. I was gonna talk about the last thing I was gonna really hit was urban legends. I had a
Yes.
whole thing on urban legends. We can save that for tomorrow.
Okay.
Or for next time, because it is deep divey kind of stuff. Because I was talking to a few people who had urban legend issues.
Speaking of Blade, that was just on Google. Yeah.
You know that's your phone spying on you. Your phone heard us talk about it because you leave your OK Google open, and it knows that we talk about stuff. And Blade popped up because your phone is spying on you.
Let's see here.
Don't dodge the question. You know the phone is spying on you.
Vampire Valance is a winner. Have a memorable villain, but don't make Dracula that villain.
Don't make Dracula the villain.
Skip the annoying sidekick.
These are all things that Blade did right.
This is that you should for the next Blade movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and then keep the storytelling consistent. Resurrecting a dead character is a delicate business. Show, don't tell. Avoid the badass chick character trope.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, because like some of the things that,
And Blade doesn't need a love interest.
you know what they did right? I'll tell you with that one. The badass chick character trope.
Isn't that Parker Posey?
No.
Oh, no. Sorry.
I can't remember what her name was. That's the one from the second one. She was going to be
And
like
let's see more of Blade's mom.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. If you can do those 10 things, you got a
You're
good Blade
cool.
movie.
Number 2 did
And rated R.
Number 2 did 2 of those things, but they did it right.
Yeah.
They gave Blade a love interest because she was.
Yeah.
But there was no understanding that's Blade's love interest until at the end when she's dying and he's like, oh god, I think I could have had something here.
Yeah.
And she's a badass warrior chick.
Exactly. Yeah. So,
Some movies do badass warrior chicks really well. Evolution did it really well. I had no problem with the way they did it in Evolution.
who's the greatest female hero of all time?
Oh, Ripley.
Yeah.
Ripley's number 1. There's no question.
There's no question.
I can't even think of who would come close to Ripley as a badass warrior chick.
Yeah. No one. Yeah.
Valeria.
Valeria?
Yeah, she's number 2.
Oh,
Oh, she's
okay.
number 1. She's number 1 for me.
She's your favorite.
She's my favorite.
Yeah.
Valeria was.
She's not number 1 though.
Yeah. Well, no, for me, she's number 1. I mean,
She's your favorite.
For me, she's number 1.
Yeah.
I think she is number 1. I think like when you look at what that character goes through in that movie, it's like from like where she is when she meets Conan and Subutai on in the what's it called, in the cult of Set.
Yeah.
Like clearly you got to be a badass to get there. These 2 monstrosities got there. She got there alone.
Yeah.
She keeps up with them the entire time. She dares them to follow her into the pit. She gets the jewel. She brings Conan back from the dead, and then dies and comes back from the dead and saves Conan.
Yeah.
That's bravo.
Okay, wait, can she drive a power loader?
They didn't exist back then. She rode a camel.
Sorry.
And
Sorry,
Conan punched a camel.
Yeah.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah. She's was she a flight officer?
Was she a
Did she have a cat named Jonesy?
Again. Did she have a flirkin?
Yeah.
The flirkin tear Samuel L. Jackson's eye out?
Yeah. But no, that's a very good pick though.
Yeah, no, but Ripley, I think when you talk about non-powered normal people as badasses, like different category, Ripley's number 1.
Yeah, because Ripley went from like just someone who like just a flight officer who did like was trying to keep in charge of her crew, to like fully facing her nightmares and
elite mental toughness.
Yeah, and confronting her nightmare and just killing the queen and just amazing.
You should be able to write a character like that either for a male or a female.
Yeah.
Like Ripley is not written gender specific.
No.
But it's written for anybody. Like the same thing goes for Vicus in District 9.
Yeah.
That could be anybody.
That could be anybody.
But it's a person who's like, I need to do the right thing. And then does the right thing. Just because like it's written for anybody and it makes that character badass. That could have been Sigourney Weaver.
That could have
been
been
the same character. Been like a complete not borderline, very bigoted, racist human being. And all of a sudden it's like, oh no, we're wrong. I gotta do the right thing.
Yeah.
I gotta just don't get your arm chopped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I worked in Hollywood, if I was like Larry David and I have to go to all these action stars, like, what'd you think of my new action movie? I was doing like Scarlett Johansson or whatever it was. I was like, yeah, no Ripley, but
no Ripley,
maybe next one. Yeah, maybe Black Widow. Maybe Black Widow 5. We'll see.
That's a gut punch right there.
Yeah.
I would imagine the music has been playing through all of this.
Well, peace out then.